Hawaii Warrior football team, and you're watching K5, the home team.
K5, the home team, presents Western Athletic Conference football. Tonight, the Hawaii Warriors hope to make it a homecoming celebration with a conference win. The Warriors' Colt Brennan leads the WAC's top passing attack against a New Mexico State team trying to end a long losing streak. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to our coverage of Western Athletic Conference football. Tonight, Hawaii against New Mexico State, two teams that are just struggling in this conference. New Mexico State is 0-6 and Hawaii is 1-4. Both of these teams led by what they call innovative coaches that like to throw the ball. Hal Mumme against June Jones tonight. There was some speculation that these two coaches would fill the air with footballs. Well, nothing has really worked out this year as far as Mumme's offense is concerned, and he likes to run it to his big running back and see what that kind of rushing attack will yield. So I turn to you, Russ, and I say, here's a team, New Mexico State, first year in the Western Athletic Conference, and they just have not been able to put things together.
Yeah, you talked about a new coach, a new offense, a new conference over New Mexico State. The numbers are not favoring. This is a team that's suffering all kinds of growing pains. They've scored only 24 points through the first 6 games, or first 3 quarters of ball games. They have 45 points, but that's coming in garbage time. And this team is riding right now a 7-game losing streak dating back to last year. That's the 3rd longest losing streak in the country. They face a defense tonight that they could possibly break that streak against in Hawaii, but Hawaii also a team that has a lot to play for despite the 1-4 record.
That's true. When you look at Hawaii, this is a team that everybody is waiting to blossom. They lost so many lettermen, so many starters off last year's team. They thought they had it turned around against Boise State, and then they had a relapse last week against Louisiana Tech. So, Dougie, I turn to you, and this is a Hawaii team that just, like New Mexico State, has not been consistent.
Well, you're right, J-Man. They have got their backs up against the wall tonight. They're at home, 1-4 on the season against an 0-6 team, a winless team. They've got to find a way to pull out the win tonight. Offensively, quarterback Colt Brennan has averaged 295 yards per game. Last week, he struggled, threw for 236. That's a lot less than he normally does. So, for Hawaii to win tonight, he's got to pull out an average game, a good game, and he can do it against his defense. The Aggies have lost 2 of their starting defensive tackles, and so Colt Brennan's going to have time to throw tonight. Defensively, Hawaii has given up 48 points in each of its 4 losses. You cannot win if you don't keep the opposing offense out of the end zone. 48 points is too much for this offense to overcome. So Hawaii defensively has got to put pressure on this quarterback and keep him out of the end zone.
When we come back, we'll get things started. New Mexico State against Hawaii. 2 teams trying to get a winning identity.
This exclusive sports presentation of the home team is sponsored by Hawaiian Telcom, keeping you connected anytime you want, anywhere you choose, anywhere you find yourself.
Beautiful night for football on this final game of this football Saturday. It will be played under a full moon here at Aloha Stadium. Time now for the keys to tonight's game.
Well, for University of Hawaii, Jim, for New Mexico State, they have to bury the Warriors. That's Justin Berries, the running back. Hal Mumme, known for his passing attack. He had that wide open passing attack when he coached over at Kentucky. But against this defense here that struggled last week against Louisiana Tech, the Hawaii defense we're talking about, they might find some success running the ball, and Justin Berries is their top rusher, averaging 4.8 yards per rush.
And for the Warriors, the key is to get fat. The Aggies have only had 4 sacks this year. That's 4 sacks in 6 games. Colt Brennan is going to have time tonight to throw. He's going to be able to move around and beef up his statistics. Defensively, they gave up 327 yards rushing. So they're going to have to get fat, plug up the holes, and make these Aggies throw.
You know, I don't want to say anything bad about the city of Las Cruces, New Mexico, home of New Mexico State, but head coach Hal Mumme, you see him right there, and tonight's Geico quote of the game, it comes from him. He said, every place on the face of the earth has some beauty marks and some warts. He's talking about Las Cruces. You just try to sell the beauty marks and get people to overlook the warts. That's his recruiting philosophy, to getting the athletes to come out to New Mexico State. That's pretty much the state of this New Mexico State program. They've had a very limited success, to say the least, in their run out at Las Cruces, making their WAC debut this year. No bowl bid since 1960, only 4 winning seasons in the past 36 years. The Aggie program struggling.
Kickoff goes to Kala Latuselu. Latuselu is open at the 30. He's at midfield. Inside New Mexico State territory. Finally knocked out of bounds close to the 30-yard line. We'll try to find out who that receiver was. It was number 34. That is Latuselu.
Well, Jim, Latuselu has left the team. That's number 34. Latuselu left for personal reasons.
Wait a minute. That could be, Martinez.
A.J. Martinez.
A.J. Martinez, who is still on the team. So another surprise from the fertile mind of June Jones. And it is first down for Hawaii on the 30-yard line. I like the way they tell us about changes. It's terrific. First down, Brennan. The throw on first down. Throw sideline. Tried to get it to Dickerson, but the ball is Mock. But the ball is overthrown. Chad Mock getting a start tonight. So Brennan 0 for 1. Spencer Moore covering on the play for New Mexico State. Here you see Martinez on the kickoff. And Martinez able to return it all the way to the 30-yard line. We'll see the kickoff again here. And there you see Martinez. Good cut by Martinez. Excellent blocking. And he really finds a huge hole. Second down and 10 from the 30. Brennan looking long. Throws for the touchdown and overthrows the intended receiver. And that was Ross Dickerson. Let's take a look at the offensive starters for Hawaii. Sponsored by Enjoy Snacks. Asara Satele, Fa'avi Eaton, and Uparesa getting the start tonight. Uparesa getting the start despite an injury. Then the skill position, Grace Mullins, Mock Best, Dickerson, and David Farmer. Farmer starting in the backfield tonight, along with Brennan. Colt Brennan is having, statistically, a very good year. Third down and 10 from the 30-yard line for Hawaii, just underway. Brennan looking, throws to Mock. That's complete. Breaks a tackle and then stumbles inside the 20. That's enough for a first down. Gain on the play of 13. So Chad Mock able to reach out, and Mock getting his 5th reception of the year. These are the defensive starters: Spicer, Jeremy Weeks, and David Neomatalolo, the freshman out of Kahuku High School. Played for the Kahuku team last year. McKinney, Cottrell, Howell, and Sober are the linebackers. And the defensive back, Shabazz, Kerry, Greibel, and Brian. Kerry, the only player on the New Mexico State team with an interception. First down from the 18-yard line. The throw is to Grace Mullins inside the 10, and Mullins is rolled out of bounds on the 8. Brandon McKinney and Shukri Shabazz there to make the stop for New Mexico State.
And that's one of the bread and butter plays for this offense, Jim. That time, the wide receiver, the wideout, takes off down the field. Bryce Mullen breaks it to the flat. Wide open. A nice delivery by Colt Brennan and a nice gain for Hawaii.
So Hawaii comes out in the double wides again. Second down and 1. The ball inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Brennan looking. He may run. He will to the 5. That's a first down. Out of bounds he goes. That is enough for a first and goal situation on the 4-yard line. Jimmy Cottrell there to make the stop for New Mexico State. Cottrell leads the team, the conference, and the nation in total tackles with 88. That was his 89th. He is averaging 14.7 tackles per game.
You know, a team like University of Hawaii going up against a winless team in New Mexico State, they got to be chomping at the bit. They get the good kickoff return. Then Colt Brennan comes out. He's excited. Overthrows his first 2 passes, but he settled down nicely so far in the back half of this drive.
So Brennan over center. Looking end zone, throws end zone. That is caught. Touchdown. Ross Dickerson. So Dickerson, a 3-yard touchdown reception for Dickerson. That is his second touchdown of the year. His first was against Idaho. And for Brennan, that's his 12th touchdown pass of the season.
Well, Dickerson was the first guy Brennan looked at. He realized that number 31, the cornerback, Shabazz, was in man coverage with his back turned to the quarterback. Did not see the ball coming, did not turn around. Touchdown, Hawaii. And
Kelly provides the extra point. It is 7-0 Hawaii, 13-28. And quite frankly, Hawaii made that look extremely easy. Pacific Bank sponsors the Loyalty Award by donating $100 toward the Central Pacific Bank Endowed Scholarship Fund for every touchdown Hawaii scores. Central Pacific Bank, extremely loyal banking. Dickerson, a 3-yard touchdown. Hawaii scoring drive, 8 plays, covering the 30 yards following the 67-yard kickoff return by A.J. Martinez. Martinez's first return of the season. So kicking off for Hawaii will be Kelly, Dubois, Harris, and Gourier are deep. The ball will go to Dubois. Courier on the gets it up over the 30-yard line. 26-yard return.
New Mexico State likes to pull some trickery. They did that against California earlier this year, where the person who receives the ball goes back. They sort of get in a quick huddle, hands it off to somebody, and they're trying to pull some misdirection.
So it's first down, and the ball is at the 30-yard line for New Mexico State. New Mexico State, a very similar offense to Hawaii. And they change over center. Short pass. That is thrown out to number 7, Brandon Allen. And Allen, after a short gain, is corralled. Kenny Patton coming up from the corner to make the stop. They will go without the huddle. So Smith, Chabelle, Martinez, Cole, and Davis in that lineup. And already they're running the second play. Running with it is Berries. And Berries very close to the first down. Justin Berries, 6-footer, 200-pound sophomore. And the ball is up over the 40-yard line. That is enough for a first down for New Mexico State.
Well, Hawaii's got to keep an eye on Berries, Jim. He's already had 3 100-yard games this year.
And he gets the first down there. Again from the shotgun. Back is Royal Gill. The quarterback throws sideline. Tried to hit Berries. But Elamimian covering on the sideline. Here is the defensive starters for Hawaii. And that's been changed because of injuries. We could see a lot of different players in there. Remember, New Mexico State going without a huddle. Fruan Lafaele and Alama Francis across that front line to start the game. That could change. Moy Elamimian, Kalili Moku, and Kamakavivo Ole. Ball is given to Berries. Boy, he explodes into the secondary and gets the first down as he crosses midfield to the 47-yard line of Hawaii. An 11-yard burst. Brad Kalili Moku and Lono Manners. Manners playing with fingers that are dislocated. They call him the lobster because of the tape job, and he's able to make the stop. It's got to be very painful, although he did take probably pain medication. Gill throws. That is complete. And Jared Quick has it, and Quick able to get it all the way to the 30-yard line. That's an 18-yard gain.
Go after 2 very successful running plays. The Aggies go with the play-action pass. Wide open receiver. He catches it in the flat, turns it upfield. Nice pass, but the quarterback hits him in full stride. Nice game.
Nick Cleaver was the receiver. Nick Cleaver, who is listed as a defensive back. Here's Berry again. Good spin move. They grab him by the ankle. It keeps going. On the first down, just inside the 30-yard line, it goes close to the 26. Brad Kalili Moku again making the stop for Hawaii. So what we're seeing here are players that have never really been in the lineup, have never really played, and all of a sudden they're having these parts. 2nd down and 7 for New Mexico State. And a fumble. Hawaii has it. That ball came right back to Gill, and he deposited the ball right across the line of scrimmage, right to a Hawaii player. Brad Kalilimoku will come up with a fumble recovery. Hawaii turns it around.
Well, Gill lifts his foot to signal to the center that he's ready. The center snaps it. Gill takes it right in the face mask. It bounces off of him past the line of scrimmage right into Hawaii's hands.
Now, Jerry Glanville, the Hawaii defensive coordinator, talked earlier this year about simplifying his scheme so that his players could pick up on it. I think it's about time Hal Mummy take a look at that as well, because his offense puts pressure on the Hawaii defense, but it also puts pressure on themselves because they're having a hard time running it in the early going.
That's a good point, Russ.
Dickerson is flanked to the far side and Mock to the near side. They put a triple wide receiver on the left at 1st down from the 26-yard line. Colt Brennan already 1 touchdown pass. Brennan throws sideline, and that is off the fingertips of Mock. Chad Mock, 5'11" junior out of Honolulu, went to Farrington. Mock getting his first start last week. And that ball thrown a little wide, could not come back for it.
And Colt's got to settle down because his receivers are open. He's got time to throw, but he's delivering the ball a little far, a little overhead, a little far. The receiver's not able to make a play.
2nd down and 10 from the 26. In motion is Grice Mullen. They overload the left side again with 3 wide receivers. Dickerson is on the right. Brennan throws over the middle, crossing pattern, and that's dropped by Grice Mullen. Mullen was in traffic. He had the umpire, and he also had the defensive linebackers. Jimmy Cottrell there to get in the way from Castle Rock, Colorado, the 6'1", 238-pound senior. He's coming off 15 tackles against Fresno State. 15. And the average is almost 15 tackles a game. So here comes Hawaii, 3rd down and 10. Dickerson and Mock. Again, the wide receiver, same formation. Brennan checks off. Dickerson throws over the middle. That's complete to Mock. Mock with running room. He's in space at the 50. Now they run him out of bounds at the 44, 43-yard line. Huge gain, 31 yards. And finally, Gil Bird was there to make the stop. Bird just into the game for New Mexico State. So another 1st down for Hawaii in this passing offense.
That time, Chad Mock, they came out with trips to the near side, did Hawaii. Chad Mock, they had man coverage on those 3 receivers on the near side. He just cut across the middle, got inside of his guy. Colt Brennan hit him in stride, and the rest was all Mock as he got some good yardage on the 1st down for Hawaii. Dickerson
and Mock, the wide receiver. Brennan, shovel pass. This is Farmer. 35, 29-yard line. Jimmy Cottrell there to make the stop for New Mexico State. Another big gain for Hawaii. David Farmer carrying the ball for the 9th time this season. And his reception rate, that is his 4th of the year.
Yeah, on that play, the running back, David Farmer, he went right to the outside hip of the tackle, turned around, Colt Brennan shoveled it to him, then he just followed the tackle, Big Dane Uparesa down the field, who did a nice job of making a block for him.
Brennan in the shotgun, 1st down from the 29. Brennan with all day throws, coming back for the ball is Mock. Juggled, did he hold on? Apparently he did. He was hit by Eric Carey from Antioch, California, the defensive back, safety. Only interception this year for New Mexico State.
Colt Brennan back in the gun right here. He's going to throw it to the outside, and watch the concentration right here by Mock. He gets hit almost as the ball gets there, but he keeps his eye on the ball, comes up with a nice grab in traffic, and Mock right now, we haven't seen too much of him this year, but he's a go-to guy right here in the early going for Hawaii.
Now Hawaii puts triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan looking left. Now just dumps it over the middle to Farmer. And Farmer inside the 20 to the 15. That's enough for a 1st down. Good gain in that play of 10 yards. So Hawaii just running all over this New Mexico State defense.
And that's a mirror of the play that they ran two plays ago with Farmer going to the outside of the tackle. You'll see him coming to the outside of the tackle, turn around. Colt Brennan will give him a little shovel pass there. He turns around the tackle. The guard's blocking downfield for him. He's got to make decisions. He made good decisions to where to run in the open field. A nice game.
Cottrell leads the game and he's limping. He is the #1 tackler, remember. And he's no longer in there for New Mexico State. Another advantage for Hawaii. First down from the New Mexico State 15-yard line. Brennan looking end zone. Touchdown. Bryce Mullen. Touchdown pass of the year. And for Bryce Mullen, that is his 4th touchdown reception. His longest of the year, 73 yards against Boise State. Colt Brennan, another touchdown pass.
Well, Brennan took the ball and he was going to throw it to Devon Best, but he saw Bryce Mullen get in the opening end zone, tuck the ball down, pumped it to Devon Best, and then threw it to Bryce Mullen in the end zone.
Kelly drills the point after. So Colt Brennan could have one of those nights as he's been able to distribute the ball to his receivers. 14-0 Hawaii. Injury report now, sponsored by HMSA, working for a healthier Hawaii. Now you see the update for New Mexico State. Jimmy Cottrell, who just left the field. Matt Greibel also injured. And then Mel Purcell and Nate Ilawa off. You see him there, number 4 with the turf toe. And there's Mel Purcell. There's the kickoff. And it will go to Dubois. What will he do with it? He'll keep it, and he'll get crushed inside the 10-yard line.
See, this is an example of New Mexico State out-coaching themselves. That's the second time they've tried trickery on a kickoff. He almost looked like he was going to pull off an option right there. But, you know, at some point in the ballgame, you just have to strap it up and play football and not do all this trickery stuff and get yourself lost.
You're right, Russ. Too much razzle-dazzle. He could have got up to the 20-yard line. He had time to run the ball. Instead, trying to run this monkey football game stuff. You know, it's monkey rules out there almost.
I was trying to be nice, you know.
1st and 10 from the 9-yard line for New Mexico State. Gill throws into the backfield, breaking tackles up the sideline, all the way out over the 20 to the 25-yard line is A.J. Harris. Harris with his 9th catch of the season, a 15-yard gain and a first down. Tanuvasa Moy there to make the stop for Hawaii.
We're talking about it, just straight football. Just a quick pass to the outside. That's basic football right there. Get some good yardage.
Ball is given and being just met at the line of scrimmage and then forced back. Ikaika Alama Francis there to plug the hole of Justin Berries, and Hawaii literally buried him.
Yeah, in on that play too was Mike Lafaele, number 97, the nose guard. Did a nice job of beating the center along with Alama Francis for a nice tackle in the backfield.
2nd down and 10 from the 24-yard line for New Mexico State. The Aggies. Gill, and now we have a penalty flag. Bill McCabe is the referee. Bill has been around the WAC for a long time. Used to be a basketball official.
I'll start. Number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Alex Gottlieb called for the movement. Gottlieb is the sophomore out of Valencia, California. One thing about New Mexico State, they have 46 players, newcomers. 34 are freshmen, sophomores, or first-year players. Here's Gil rolling. That is complete to Cleaver on the 30, and he gets met hat to hat. Coming over was Manners.
And Jim, you talked about Lono Manners having those injured fingers. You don't need fingers on a hit like this. You just come up, drop the shoulder, and bring the lumber. Boom. That's a why-not football player right there.
Cleaver is the safety, so he right now is going both ways for New Mexico State. We'll have to check on the defense, and we'll see. But he is penciled in as the safety. In fact, the starting safety. Gill back to pass again. 4-man pattern, and this is Berries to the 34. Elimimian came over on top. Also in there, other Hawaii players coming over.
And that time, the Aggies did a nice job of protecting their quarterback. Gil had a lot of time and a lot of time for the receivers to get open. Made a nice play.
First down for New Mexico State. They trail 14-0. This is Berries exploding into the secondary. Great move. Gets to the outside at midfield and gets all the way to the 48-yard line of Hawaii. 17-yard high step scamper into that backfield. Kila Kamakaviva Ole there to make the tackle finally.
Well, you can feel the pressure that New Mexico State puts on a defense. I mean, it's making it tough on us up here in the booth. Imagine what it's like for the guys down there in the field. They line up, snap the ball, run a play, come back, line it up, snap the ball, run again. These guys are just running play after play after play. Gets Hawaii off guard on that one.
Here's Jeremiah Williams carrying. And the black shirt's able to corral him after he goes from the 47 close to the 45-yard line. Justin Berries, by the way, 3 consecutive 100-yard games against New Mexico, against California, and against La Tech. So he comes in averaging 80 yards per game. And he is back into that backfield for New Mexico State. New Mexico State able to move the ball, then they turned it over on a fumble. Hawaii then came back down the field and scored, leading 14-zip. Gill throwing again. That is complete. Out to the sideline to Cleaver. And Cleaver is upended. So Cleaver has found a new position. 14-yard gain and another first down for New Mexico State.
And what this offense does, when they go no huddle like that, what it attacks is one of Hawaii's biggest weaknesses, the lack of depth on defense at every position. They've been banged up, they've been hurt. The guys out there are it. And when you bring the second string in, the talent level drops a little, and these guys are going to get tired. And this kind of offense just wears them down.
So Berries able to go from the 31 to about the 30, a gain of 1. And that will bring up second down and 9. Hawaii on passing defense has given up 222 yards a game. They're 54th in the country. And on total defense, Hawaii is giving up 415 yards. And they are 87th. But where they really are near the bottom is in scoring defense. They're giving up 39 yards a game, and they are 114th out of 118. Ball is given on a reverse to the near side. With it is A.J. Harris. Harris inside the 15. All the way to the 12-yard line. So an 18-yard gain.
Well, last week, the Aggies ran a reverse against Fresno State and got 36 yards in that, the longest running play of their season so far. The reverse seems to be working for them. And like I said, they just come out and they run around, spread the defense out so that everybody's in man coverage. Really hard to stop.
Chris Williams now has gone as the wide receiver. Ball is given to Berries, trying to get outside, looking for the hole, trying to go wide. 10-5, and he steps into the end zone. That's a touchdown. And Hawaii seemed to be caught looking the other way. Excellent block by Brandon Allen, the wide receiver.
Well, they were looking the other way, Jim, because they got 4 receivers out there. So the defenders, the defensive back, they've got to cover 4 receivers. So they're watching their man in tight coverage. So when you got a running back who makes the linebacker miss, then a DB has to come up and make a play. But if they're not watching, if they're just in man coverage looking at the receiver, they're not going to do it.
Berries just looked at option after option after option and tiptoed into the end zone. No one really touched him. And so New Mexico State comes roaring back. They scored. Is now 14-7. Hawaii still in the first quarter with 5 minutes and 58 seconds left. At the conference standings, it's like many of life's necessities. It's brought to you by Matson. Nevada is on top, 3-0 at the present time. Then Boise State, Fresno State, Hawaii 1-2. New Mexico State is 0-2, 0-6 on the year. Hawaii 1-4. And these two teams have gone up and down the field against each other, 14-7. Hawaii. A.J. Martinez, we apologize for misidentifying him on the opening kickoff. He was a surprise. There's another ball coming to him. Takes it 2 yards deep, and he will return it. to the 44. Nick Cleaver. Remember what we said about Nick Cleaver? Plays all over the place. He's on offense. Now he's on special teams. He made the stop. 44-yard return by A.J. Martinez. And Martinez, the first time that he was able to return it, he went for 70, rather, he went for a long yardage. Long yardage.
And that guy I just circled, number 73, Larry Salafe. I got to give him props for getting upfield on special teams. Big offensive lineman making a nice block.
First down for Hawaii. The ball is at the 44-yard line. Brennan throws, and that is complete to Devon Bess. And Bess goes for about 9 yards to the 47-yard line of New Mexico State. Cottrell, who is back into the game, and Eric Carey double-teamed him there.
Yeah, going back to that New Mexico State touchdown, just to put that into some kind of perspective, here's a team that almost doubled its first quarter scoring output for the entire season. They came in with 10 points in the first quarter through 6 games. They got 7 right there on a 91-yard drive. That does not bode well for the Hawaii defense early on against New Mexico State. This is a team that's struggling on offense.
Dickerson and Mock are the wide receivers. Brennan throws, and that is complete to Bess. And Bess has the first down as he's moved the ball inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. So that's enough for a first down. Hawaii continues to move the ball. We have seen actually very little defense. Brennan is 10 for 14, 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we still have 5 minutes remaining to be played in the first quarter.
Checking his notes. Always good to have the cheat sheet with you.
Brennan to throw again. Has all day. And he's trying to run, and that was a bad decision. Brennan trying to get outside. Brandon McKinney came in from his left linebacker position. He's coming off a career high in tackles. He had 10 against Fresno State last week, 4 tackled for loss, and that was another one right there on Brennan.
And Brennan, he steps up into the pocket, feels some pressure here, then rolls out. He's trying to find an open receiver, thinks he can shrug off that tackle, but McKinney can't do it. Probably should have thrown the ball away.
Brandon McKinney, 262 pounds at linebacker. That's the guy that you don't want to run into. He's a load.
He's from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Brennan throws. That's complete to Farmer, and he gets met around the line of scrimmage by Dustin Sober. Sober out of Fullerton, California, 6'2" senior. Went to Fullerton Junior College, coming off 9 tackles against Fresno State. Good bump by Sober.
That time Brennan going through his progressions. Actually, he looked off. Farmer, it looked like he looked him off. Came back to him because he was sitting there wide open in the flat.
We have to correct ourselves. Hawaii giving up 39 points a game. 114th in the country. Not yards, but points. 3rd and 10. Brennan throws. Coming back for it is Mock. Makes the catch at the 35. He is short of the first down. Gil Bird covering on the play for New Mexico State.
It's a little inexperience right there. You want the receivers to come back to the football and make the catch like that, but on 3rd and 10, you got to be heads up on where the first down marker is. You need to get right there to the 32-yard line. They'll mark it at about the 34, just outside the 34.
Hawaii's going to go for it on 4th down. They are 2 for 9 on the season, 22% on 4th down conversions. They have the ball just inside the 35-yard line. They have to go to the 32. So Hawaii gambling here. 4th down. Brennan, triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan looking right. Looks, throws, incomplete. And New Mexico State will take over on down. On downs. It was intended for Devon Bess. Jimmy Cottrell was there, gumming things up.
And it was a good play. Hawaii's offensive line did a terrific job. Aggies sending only 4 guys. A lot of time for Brennan to make his reads. He picked the receiver that would have had the first down, made a nice throw. It just went through the receiver's hand. Devon Bess, young receiver. He's done a great job so far this season. But on 4th and 2, your team really needs you. You need to come down with balls like that.
First down for New Mexico State, taking over. As Hawaii comes up empty on that 4th down conversion, Hawaii may have jumped offside as the play comes in. 2 players, Michael Lafa'ele, one of them, and Kiala Watson. We'll see whether it's offside.
Dead ball. Contact. Number 67. Offside. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Lafa'ele, Michael Lafa'ele out of Farrington from Honolulu. See, June Jones still rather perturbed with the decision-making process by Colt Brennan on 4th down. 1st and 5 from the 39-yard line. Audibleizing is Royal Gill, 6'5", 220, a junior from Boise. Went to Pima Junior College. Hands the ball to Berries, and Berries gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Lafa'ele able to knife in, make first contact. So that will bring up 2nd down and 5 for New Mexico State. New Mexico State is, remember, has been able to move the ball, and they have an opportunity to come back and tie this game with a drive here.
Well, you can feel the pressure that this New Mexico State offense will put on you. They just come out, line up, and go.
Well, again, it's given to Berries, and Berries, very short game, trying to probe the middle. And he was triple teamed as he got to the line of scrimmage. So he gets the ball to the 47-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Berries and Romaka in the I formation. They give it on the reverse to the far side to Dubois. And Dubois is hit at the 41, a loss of 3, and that'll bring up 4th down. Excellent diagnosis that time, and late flags come in upfield at the 50-yard line. Keomaka of Hawaii involved in that.
Looked like somebody might have held a block for a bit too long right there, and the officials got it. Could be against New Mexico State right here.
It's against New Mexico State. Could be on Kyle Smith, the offensive tackle, who on that reverse pulled and was trying to lead the interference around the left side. So that will bring up 4th down. Brad Evans is the punter. He is 3rd in WAC punting, averaging 41.3 yards a punt. His longest this year, 56 yards. And we'll see who goes back to receive it. It may be a brand new player. Who knows?
You know, New Mexico State goes with this no-huddle offense, and that's fine and dandy, but you'd almost like to see them go back into a huddle at some point to try to get some consistency out of this offense. They get a gift on 1st down, 5 yards on a penalty call. After that, they run 3 plays and get 3 yards. The Hawaii defense is all over it. You got to think at some point, if they just went back, got in the huddle, and regrouped, and at least came out with a team effort, they might be able to move this ball, but they did move it.
Personal foul, late hit, offense, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
To give props where props is due. They did move the ball early on the drive beforehand, but on this drive, they just looked way out of sync.
You're right. To go no huddle, Hal Mummy comes there first year to throw in a brand new offense for these kids, and then to go no huddle with it, that's a whole lot to ask of these guys. You know, might be better off going with the huddle with the new offense. Maybe next year or a year down the road, go no huddle.
Andre Taylor is back for Hawaii to receive the punt, along with Porras, number 30, Dane Porras, waiting for the snap and the kick. It'll take some time to come down, lands and goes out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Hawaii will take over there. 50 seconds, 5-0 left to play here in the first quarter. Hawaii Telcom is proud to sponsor UH Athletics. Visit any Hawaiian Telcom store and enter the Weekend Warriors sweepstakes for your chance to win 4 tickets to an upcoming game. Hawaiian Telcom, they keep Hawaii connected.
Well, the Aggies now on defense, they've lost their starting nose guard, Sam Ford, and their starting right end, Jared Naylor, who had to go home for a family illness. So they're not getting a lot of pressure up front. They might want to think about blitzing somebody to get some pressure on Colt Brennan because he's got all day to pass.
First down for Hawaii. The ball at the 34. Brennan again to throw. Four-man pattern. Skips. Throws sideline. Bryce Mullen. What a catch. That ball came right over the shoulder of Dustin Sober trying to cover on the play. And Bryce Mullen had the concentration to gather it in. A 21-yard gain.
Colt Brennan gets the ball here. He's making a read, steps up into the pocket and makes a nice throw right over Dustin Sober, who got beat early. So he was in catch-up mode. Didn't have time to turn around. Ball right over his head into the receiver's hand.
Here comes Hawaii again. More yardage piling up. 42 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Hawaii leading 14-7. Dickerson to the far side and Mock to the near side. In the slots, Bryce Mullen and Betts. Brennan steps up in the pocket, throws long for the end zone, incomplete. Having a step was Ross Dickerson. Dickerson already a touchdown reception in this game. Shirkri Shabazz covering on the play. His older brother, speaking of Shabazz, is a first lieutenant and helicopter pilot in the United States Marine Corps. And his brother, Sidney Shabazz, plays for the Cincinnati Bengals and the National Football League. 37 seconds left. Bess and Dickerson are flanked to the far side along with Bryce Mullen. Mock is to the left. Showing blitz. Brennan steps up in the pocket. He'll run and he has room. 30. And he angles toward the outside. That's short of the first down. He'll come up a couple of yards short, able to get inside the 30-yard line. And Spencer Moore finally comes up from the corner to challenge him.
Doug, you talked about New Mexico State needed to come with the blitz to put some pressure on this Hawaii quarterback. They came on the blitz that time. Colt Brennan did the perfect counter. He saw the blitz. The blitz came from the near side edge. He hit the receiver out in that area. And as we come to the end of the first quarter, that was a big game for the University of Hawaii.
We've played one, 14-7 Hawaii. When we come back, Hawaii will be looking at the end zone again.
This exclusive sports presentation of the home team is sponsored by Hawaiian Telcom, keeping you connected anytime you want, any way you choose, anywhere you find yourself.
You can be a part of the official Student Spirit Group by purchasing season tickets with the Manoa Maniacs and get an all-sports pass at the Stan Sheriff Center box office. Get in the game. Join the Manoa Maniacs. Some of them right there. We begin the second period of play. Hawaii leading 14-7 over New Mexico State. Hawaii has the ball, third down, and about 2.5. The ball is resting on the 28-yard line, just inside the 28-yard line of the Aggies. And we resume. You know, there wasn't supposed to be any wind today.
I was just going to say, it's windy. The wind is picking up big time. It must be the full moon, you know?
Full moon. You got that right. Third down, 2.5. Brennan throws. That is complete. And that's inside the 25 to the 23. That's enough for a first down. Again, it is Chad Mock. Mock has come out of nowhere. I mean, he has emerged as one of the primary receivers. And check that. That's Dickerson. And I apologize for the another misidentification.
I talked about the importance of blitzing. I tell you, Colt Brennan's got all day. They're rushing 4 guys. Nobody's hardly even, none of them are getting past the line of scrimmage. Hawaii's offensive line is just keeping them at the line. They've got to bring something, get pressure on Colt Brennan, or they're in for a long night.
So it's first down. The emotions. Throws, that is complete. And the receiver moves inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. And that's Chad Mock.
You know what? Another thing the blitz does, is it pressure the quarterback, but it gives the defensive lineman rest because it forces the action. It makes the quarterback release the ball quicker. So it gives them more rest. They don't have to pass rush for 5 seconds. They can, after 2 or 3 seconds, the play is over. With two defenses that are depleted on defensive line, you'd think they'd be blitzing a lot more.
So it is second down. Brennan, touchdown. In the corner, Bryce Mullins, his second touchdown reception of this game. 17-yard touchdown pass. And Hawaii out now to a 20-7 lead.
Well, that time, Bryce Mullins came across the middle, and it was just nothing fancy. Number 2, Matt Dreibel. You saw him at the bottom of the screen. Bryce Mullins just comes right up at him, turns to the outside, and just runs right away from him. You can't coach speed. You can't beat it either. And Bryce Mullins got it done right there on the Hawaii touchdown reception.
And to try the point after. Kick is up by Kelly, and it again is perfect. 14-12 left to play in the first half. It's 21-7. Hawaii.
No one ever
Goes 66 yards in 6 plays in a minute 38 seconds. Brennan to Bryce Mullins, 17-yard touchdown pass. That's the third of the game for Brennan. The second reception for a touchdown by Bryce Mullins. Kicking off is Kelly. And here comes Gourier, and he will not return it. Started to had an indication of returning it, but then went down on one knee, and the ball will be placed at the 20. From elegant gift baskets to beautifully textured boxes, Big Island Candies is sure to find the perfect gift for everyone on your holiday list. 1-800-935-5510 for a catalog, or you can click on to BigIslandCandies.com. First down from the 20 for New Mexico State. They trail in this game now 21-7. Gill throws, and that is complete to Berries. He's hit, spins off the attempted tackle, and gets a short gain out to about the 25-yard line. Tanabasa Moore was the one who made contact with him. Williams and Berries are in the backfield along with Royal Gill. This is Berries. First down, and we have a penalty flag. Penalty flag came flying out of that scrum.
Which usually means holding on an offensive lineman.
Holding on the defense. Usually means holding on the offense, but sometimes it doesn't.
Give him a chance to correct himself.
Holding, number 67 defense.
Wow.
10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Lafayette. There you see the defensive coordinator.
Here's one you don't see every day. Holding on the defense. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he kind of grabbed onto the guy's jersey. That's just football.
I didn't see that one.
That's just football.
I'm sorry. I don't agree with that call.
That was right before he caught the back of the guy's jersey, but still, I mean, what's a defensive player to do?
What are you supposed to do?
Well, you can't hold the offensive lineman.
What did you play in college, Doug?
O-line.
There you go.
So the ball is out to about the 41-yard line, just short of the 41. First down for New Mexico State. 21-7. Hawaii leading and having a very easy time of it so far against this team. That is new. The coach is new. The offensive philosophy is new. And the conference is new. First down and 10 for New Mexico State. And we will have an offside. It's going to be a fumble. It is picked up, but it will be blown dead. Picked up by
And if
Alama Francis.
if that's an offside, it's a really late flag because the guy jumped back on sides. The play had already gone. We'll see what he calls. But if it's offsides, real late decision.
Offside. Number 1 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the first down.
It's going to be on Kamaka Viva Ole.
Mr. Violetti, you're exactly right. That official waited about a month and a half to throw the flag. See, it looked like he got back.
And the play's going, still going, and right now the flag comes out.
Yeah, that official waited way long to throw the flag. It's almost like he second-guessed himself.
So that moves the ball over the 45 to the 46-yard line.
And it looked like Kamaka Viva Ole got back. You guys are right.
Again, without a huddle. Tight end sets up on the far side. First down and 5. Royal Gill looking to the sideline. And now he will audibilize. Still has 9 seconds in which to snap the ball. Talking to Berries. Gives it to Berries. And he's ankle tackle as he crosses the 45 to about the 47. That will bring up second down and short yardage. Solomon Illumian there to grab him as he went into the secondary.
So this is what this offense will do. They'll come up, they'll get on the line of scrimmage. The center will make contact with the football, and they'll sit there. Gill will look over at the sideline, get the play, call it out, and run it. And so far, with limited success, except for that one drive, Hawaii's been all over it.
Second down and 3. Gill with time. Now it starts to break down. Sideline pattern going up to get it. And let's see what they call. They say no. Incomplete.
Landon Kafensis in the game we did up at Idaho a few weeks ago, Landon Kafensis came with the lumber and had some good shots in that game. He just gets into the ball game here and gets another one. Landon Kafensis, the back safety, watch him come up and just lay it right there. Took out a coach's too on the sideline. That Landon Kafensis from that Kafensis playing football family, we can bring it.
Eric Dubois made a very good catch of that ball, but he was teetering on the sidelines and may have had the foot out of bounds. Third down and 3. Gill again. Throws underneath the coverage. With it is Brandon Allen. And Allen has the first down as he's able to get it to the 41-yard line of Hawaii. Maka Viva Ole and Keo Maka double teamed him there.
Again, Hawaii just sends 3 guys, no blitz. So Gill had all the time in the world. The defensive lineman barely got past the line of scrimmage. There's just too much time. You give a quarterback this kind of time with decent receivers, he's going to make 3 yards. All he needed was 3 yards. Hawaii needs to blitz more to pressure the quarterback and give the defensive lineman a break.
That crossing pattern has been open all night long. Anytime New Mexico State wants it, it's there.
High throw. Going up to get it was Derek Dubois.
And there's an example right there. Hawaii comes with a blitz. Gill has to get rid of the ball early. Makes a poor throw over the head of the receiver. Hawaii's got to do more of that.
Second down. Ball at the 41-yard line of Hawaii. 11:49 left to play in the first half. Hawaii leading 21-7 over winless New Mexico State. Gill throwing on the run. That is complete. The cleaver keeps his balance, gets inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That's enough for a first down for New Mexico State. Lono Manners finally reached out and tripped him up. 13-yard gain and a first down for the Aggies.
Now here's the downside of blitzing. When you blitz, your defensive backs are in man coverage. That's time Lono Manners in man coverage, a little too far away from the receiver. But that's the way they've got to play this game because they do not have the defensive linemen to rotate in and give the starters rest.
First and 10. Ball just outside the 28-yard line of Hawaii. New Mexico State in possession. Royal Gill, quick look. Chased out of the pocket by Akban. Now throws down the sideline, and that is complete with running room all the way inside the 10-yard line to about the 9. Carrying the ball was Justin Berries. Kenny Patton finally diagnosed the play and made the tackle. 18-yard gain.
That time I did not see who the defender was for Hawaii, but somebody was running with that receiver. Kind of came up, looked like Tanavasa Moy. Came up when he saw the quarterback run to his side, and all the quarterback Gill did was dump the ball over his head to the running back.
Well, just inside the 10. And it's first down and goal to go for New Mexico State. Royal Gill audibleizing as he has done throughout this first half. Looking, now throws, that is complete inside the 5-yard line and finally bumped out of bounds. That's Paul Dombrowski. Dombrowski making his first catch here in the first half. That's his 36th for the season. He is #1 in pass receiving for New Mexico State. He came in with 404 yards and 2 touchdowns. He almost had a third there.
And Dombrowski was the backup quarterback for this team last year. He was a second-string quarterback, realized he wasn't going to get playing time, said, hey, what can I do? Well, move the receiver. We might get you some playing time. That's what he did.
Second down and goal to go. They come out with split backs. Berries runs behind the block and gets the first down. Good power running by Berries. And an excellent block by Romaka.
This is a bad sign for Hawaii defense. You have to understand, folks, that New Mexico State as a team through 6 games this season has scored only 24 points in the first half all season long. They have 14 here tonight pending the extra point. They are finding some rare offense against this Hawaii defense.
For the point after, Connor Foley. And that's good. So you watch an example of this running by Berries. Berries second in the conference in rushing. This is one of the reasons why. 21-14 Hawaii. Hawaiian Telcom is proud to sponsor UH Athletics. Visit any Hawaiian Telcom store and enter the Weekend Warrior Sweepstakes for your chance to win 4 tickets to an upcoming game. Hawaiian Telcom, they keep Hawaii connected.
You know, we got to give credit to where credit is due. We talked about New Mexico State. We'd like to see them go in the huddle once in a while, because at times they look kind of out of sync. But you got to give them credit. They have touchdown drives of 80 yards and 91 yards against Hawaii tonight. They're looking good on offense.
That's just a kind of a pooch kickoff that was taken by one of the up men, and he just got blasted after he came down with it. And that was Timo Paipule. A very short kickoff. That negates the return. Hawaii's had some great returns with newcomer A.J. Martinez, and you could see the fair catch called by Paipule. And he goes up there. And
Daniel Tautofi also back there with him.
So Hawaii will have it at their own 29-yard line. Still, very good, solid field position.
And another example of trickery by Hal Mum and his staff, always trying to look for a quick out.
21-14. Hawaii must respond here. First down from their own 29. Brennan bouncing, looting. And he is able to angle out of bounds over the 30-yard line. They'll give him forward progress all the way to the 33. John Howell, I should say. John Howell and Chase Spicer. I mean, Spicer had the exact great name for that play. Chase, that's exactly what he did. Gain of the play of about 4, second down and 6. Ball at the 33 for Hawaii. And Brennan is having one of those nights. Brennan 182 yards passing, 14 rushing. Brennan again lays the ball off to Farmer in space to the 40. Farmer rolled out of bounds as he gets the first down, gets out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Matt Greibel comes over to get him.
And Farmer used in the backfield mostly for blocking, keeping the defenders off the quarterback. When he got the ball that time, he had 25 yards in front of him. All the defenders had dropped back in coverage. And so it's a nice call by Brennan to throw it off to the running back, the outlet pass, and a first down.
Well, Farmer caught that ball too. He was so alone.
Didn't he look surprised?
He needed some consultation. He was so alone in that play. He had caught the ball, turned around, and there was nobody there.
First down at the 41-yard line for Hawaii, their own 41. They fake the ball to Farmer. Brennan throws over the middle, and wide open is Best, all the way to the 30-yard line of New Mexico State. Well, that froze everybody in that defensive secondary, and Best caught that ball in a vacant lot. Tim McManigal there to make the stop. 30-yard gain.
Well, you're going to see Colt Brennan. He actually does a play-action fake here, fakes the handoff to Farmer. I don't know how many linebackers he fooled there or safeties, but he did throw it over Tim McGonigal's head, number 8 there, for a nice, terrific throw right on the money to Devon Best.
Triple wide receiver to the left. Mock along with Grice Mullen and Bess. To the near side is Dickerson. Showing blitz. Blitz is picked up by Satelli. They throw over the middle. Bess at the 10. Rolls away from one tackle and is finally horse-collared at the 4-yard line. 25-yard gain. Greibel again. That time he saved the touchdown.
You know, if you find a play in the playbook that works, you just run the same play from the opposite side of the field, do it all over again. That's exactly what happened here. Bess again catches the ball across the middle, takes a couple of good shots, but look at that leg drive, gets inside the 5-yard line. And just like that, Hawaii has a great red zone chance here inside the 5 in New Mexico State.
And you know the two safeties on the Aggies team, Greibel made that tackle, number 2. Number 3, the strong safety, Carey. They're number 2 and 3 in tackles on that defense. And when you have the safeties making that many tackles, something's wrong with your front 7. They're not doing their job.
First down, goal to go for Hawaii from the 4-yard line of New Mexico State. Here's Brennan. Brennan now throws into the end zone, and that is caught for the touchdown by Devon Best. That's his 6th touchdown reception. Was almost a basketball pass. Brennan waited, and finally just lofted it to him.
Well, credit everybody on offense that time. The offensive line for blocking, Brennan for sprinting out, giving himself more time, giving the receivers more time to get open, and Best for making an athletic catch there.
That ball was running out of fuel.
Yeah, Best saw the ball coming, thought it was going to go over his head. He went up to catch it, and all of a sudden it was down at his feet. Caught a curveball.
Kicking the ball up and through is Kelly. So Hawaii leading 28-14. We'll take another look at that touchdown pass.
Watch it. Best gets himself free in the back of the end zone. I guess he thought the ball was going to come at him harder than it did because he leaves his feet, really didn't need to, and almost out-jumped himself. But the end result is a touchdown for the University of Hawaii. It's 28 points, 28-14. And Devon Best is another touchdown reception. He is becoming the go-to guy for the University of Hawaii.
Brennan is 20 of 26, 249 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 of them. 2 to Grice Mullen, 1 to Dickerson, and 1 to Bess.
You know, Drew Jones always says he wants to have a game where he never runs the football. He doesn't have it tonight, but he has nobody in rushing yardage. Only the quarterback, Colt Brennan, on a couple of scrambles. He's running 4 times for 14 yards. Nobody else on this Hawaii offense has any rushing yards, but so far it's been working. Hawaii 4 touchdown journeys tonight against this New Mexico State defense.
Kicking off, again, will be Kelly. Dubois, Gourier, and Harris are deep. Ball will go to Dubois. Here he comes. Dubois right up the middle, now in the open at the 40, and it is a race. And he's ridden out of bounds in Hawaii territory. All the way inside the Hawaii 45-yard line. What a return. That time by Dubois. 55 yards.
And on kickoff coverage, when they're coming downfield, a lot of guys get tempted to go in there, dive at the running back, try to make a tackle at the return man, excuse me. But the rule is get down there, keep your lanes, because if it goes out of your lane, somebody else who's keeping his lane too can make the tackle. That time, breakdown on the wedge because Aggies ran it right up the middle.
First down, they have it at the 41-yard line of Hawaii, and again, audibilizing is Royal Gill.
Boy, the wind is just picking up big time. You don't see much of it down on the flags on the field, but up here it's blowing.
Ball is given on a delay handoff to Berries. Berry stumbles at the line of scrimmage. Tripping him up was Solomon Illimimian.
And Berry's already has 2 touchdowns over the left side. They go back to the well, running on the left side behind left tackle Kyle Smith and left guard Justin Chappelle. And they're going to do that. They're going to keep doing it because it's been working.
Double wide receiver to the right. Ball is faked on the reverse. With time now is Gill. Throws to the sideline. Coming back and making the reception was Brandon Allen, and we have a penalty flag. Kenny Patton covering on the play. And it could be personal foul. We'll see.
You have this many fakes in the backfield. Well, this takes a lot of guts on the part of the quarterback to carry out that many fakes and then stand in the pocket and make the play. I almost thought it was going to be on Aloha Francis for a late hit on the quarterback, but the flag is thrown downfield. Let's hear the call.
Penalties 15 yards, automatic first down.
Call it a normal manners.
I thought it was going to be on Tanuvasa-Moy for a late hit. About 45, 15, you know, sometimes those numbers can get confused.
Oh, can they ever, especially with these 4 Schlugger units.
Yeah.
And the long hair draping on the back of the jersey doesn't help anything either.
Well, the numbers tend to ride up. 8:01 left to play in the first half. A first half that has seen tons of offense. Tons. And very little defense.
You laugh, but both of them, Lono Manners and Tanuvasa-Moy, they have major league hairstyles.
1st and 10 from the 15. Dancing is Royal Gill. Now throws into the end zone, and it is caught, but out of bounds. Going up to get it was A.J. Harris. Boy, Harris made an NFL quality catch. Good pressure that time by Kaika Alama Francis on Gill.
I tell you, Alama Francis has been running some 40-yard sprints to get at Gill, coming from the other side of the field, 3 plays in a row, almost getting to him just to have the quarterback get rid of the ball.
7:43 left, 2nd down. From the Hawaii 15-yard line, ball is given to Berry's looking for running room. Nothing on the left, tries to go to the right, and is chased down from behind by Kamaka Viva Ole. Kila Kamaka Viva Ole. Showing some very good speed.
Well, the Aggies going to the left side again. Their left line, their left tackle, left guard seem to be the guys they want to run to. Nothing there, so Berry takes it back to the other side. Kamaka Vivoli just keeps running, makes a nice tackle.
Dombrowski comes in as a wide receiver. We'll see how many wide receivers are in there now. Dombrowski sets up as a wingback.
Yeah, Hawaii needs to be heads up for a trick play right here.
In motion is Dubois. Gill looking, throws over the middle. That is complete to Cleaver, and he gets blasted at the 5-yard line. He may have the first down.
It's going to be close.
Kalili Moku there to hit him. Bank of Hawaii recognizes excellent on the field of play, and tonight we'll be selecting a member from each team as the game's most valuable player, sponsored by the Bank of Hawaii.
And they're going to bring the chain gang out.
And they will measure for the first down. Okay, guys. Call it.
Let's see.
They're already calling it.
I say they made it.
They didn't even bring the chains out.
Oh, the crowd don't like that. I said New Mexico State and Hawaii has to be heads up for a trick play because, as you said, Doug, Dombrowski's a former quarterback, and on that play, he was barking out some signals from the near hash mark. His body language kind of looked like something was up the sleeve of the New Mexico State offense, but that time they went with a straight pass over the middle.
Jeremiah Williams and Justin Berry, split backs. They go back in the gun. Berries. And he gets swallowed up by the black shirts, and they force him back. Kila Kamakavivaole leading the charge from his linebacker position on the right side.
There's some extra pushing and shoving going on down there.
Officials getting the players separated. 28-14, New Mexico State threatening again with 5:58 left to play in the first half. 4 touchdown passes in the first half by Hawaii quarterback Colt Brennan. Here's Royal Gill. Gill has been in and out as a starting quarterback over the course of this season. Boy, they come out. Everybody to the right. Looking left. Gill now rolling right. He is at the 3, and down he goes at the 2. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal to go. Hawaii squeezed him to the sideline that time. Brad Kalilimoku and Tony Akban.
And linebacker Tanuvasamoy did a terrific job that time because Gill faked to the right, and it was all Burries. The play was designed to go to Burries. Tanuvasamoy doing a nice job of covering the running back until the quarterback had passed the line of scrimmage. They came up to help with the tackle.
3rd down for New Mexico State. Trying to punch it in to make the game close. They trail 28-14. Double wides. Gill, empty backfield. Tight end to the right. Gill rolling right, looking for the end zone. Throws. That is caught. Touchdown. And with it is Nick Cleaver. And for Cleaver, that is his first touchdown reception of the year. So Royal Gill, boy, you talk about pinpoint passing prowess. That was it right there. Tanuvasamoy covering on the play. Watch this ball. I mean, it's the only place that could be completed. It was to Cleaver, and it's now 28-20.
That was good coverage by Tanuvasamoy. He was right there with Cleaver all the way, but like you said, pinpoint passing, he put it right where it had to be, and that's a nice play for New Mexico State. Connor
Foley adds the point after. It's 28-21, and the offensive dash to the end of this game continues. Hawaii now leading by 7. We are back. There you see the scoring drive. 41 yards in 8 plays following an excellent kickoff return. 4 minutes and 13 seconds of elapsed time. Cleaver, a 2-yard catch from Gill. And Royal Gill keeping the game close, 28-21. It's been all offense. Now you see Martinez, A.J. Martinez. We misidentified him at the start of the game, but he has become a very good return man. He's had some great journeys. Another very short kickoff, calling for the fair catch and gathering the ball in.
And I hate to keep beating that point, but we have to make it. This New Mexico State offense right now is having a virtual explosion. They scored 24 points all season long combined in the first half. They have 21 points here tonight. We have 4:43 left to go in this first half. So New Mexico State, we've been talking about some confusion on their offense, but tonight they found it. 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter, 28-21. The Hawaii still with the lead.
Daniel Tatofi calling for the fair catch. First down for Hawaii on their 27-yard line, and going back to work is Brennan. He has had almost a magnificent first half. 4 touchdown passes. Looks over the middle, nothing there. Gets a block, rolls out. And he will angle out of bounds after he gets the first down. A 12-yard pickup for Colt Brennan. And he has what he has done, I think, is really instigate a discussion on how he plays the game as compared to Timmy Chang, who did not run.
Look at the Aggies now. They come with the blitz. All the offensive linemen one-on-one with defenders. Then the right end, David Niumatalolo beats Talaisera, gets in, pressures Colt Brennan to roll out, and credit Colt Brennan for making 10 yards out of it because the defensive front did what they were supposed to do.
First down from the 38-yard line. Brennan from the shotgun, looking over the middle. May run again, and he has room. 40, and leaps over the 45-yard line, trying to get to the first down. Cole Martin was there to really go one-on-one with him and stop him before he got to the first down.
And he's going to get razzed next week when they're watching film because the quarterback just ran him over. It's something you never want to happen to you because when you get back to school on Monday, you get to practice. Before you go out to practice, you spend a couple hours watching video, and everybody on the team is going to see that over and over again.
Second down and less than a yard for Hawaii. They lead at 28-21. 3:52 left to play in the first half. We're getting some very concerning news here. We'll fill you in. Brennan has the first down as they finally the protection was there for a long time, and he was able to lunge forward for the first down. Vance Singletary, an assistant coach along that defensive front, was up in the booth tonight. Usually you see him down on the field. He was up there with Cal Lee in the booth tonight. Apparently he has fainted or he has lost consciousness, and they have taken him to the hospital. So hopefully things are okay with Vance Singletary. There you see the coaches up in the box. First down for Hawaii at midfield. They lead at 28-21. 3:17 left. Brennan looking right. Now rolling, throws back over the middle. Leaping catch at the 30-yard line by Bryce Mullen. And he is down at the 29. 21-yard gain. So the passing just continues to be just short of brilliant.
Well, the Aggies get pressure up front. They blitz and they get pressure on Brennan, and he throws a nice ball. I tell you, number 26, Colt Martin, is not having a good series. If the receiver had not jumped to catch that ball, he would have tackled him before the receiver, the ball got there and got the flag. So he's not doing a good job in this series.
Bryce Mullen, 5 catches now for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Triple wide receiver to the left. Brennan looking right, checks off, shovel pass, and with it is Farmer. Farmer into that secondary, and he is able to explore it all the way to the 15-yard line. Michael Hernishan out of Corona, California, and Matt Greibel, the senior out of Tucson, Arizona, there to finally halt his progress.
Well, the Hawaii coaches recognizing that the Aggies have been blitzing, getting pressure on the quarterback. They come with the shovel pass. There's a shovel pass draw play hybrid. That kind of thing right there really makes the Aggies coaches think twice about blitzing, because with the defenders shooting upfield, they run themselves out of the running lane.
There you see Hal Mumme.
There's Woody Woodenhofer, former NFL defensive coordinator. It was the first hire of Hal Mumme when he got here to New Mexico State. He's spent a lot of years in the National Football League, and he's, I guarantee you, not happy with what his defense is pulling off tonight.
Woodenhofer involved in the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain defense. One of the coaches that thought that up. Yeah. He's been around for a long time.
He was with the Steelers in the 70s when they won two of their 4 Super Bowls. He was with them, like you said, the steel curtain. Certainly no curtain here tonight. Not a steel one, at least.
Nakoa Football is the official booster club of the University of Hawaii Football Warriors. For more information on the Nakoa Football Club, please call 956-4513 or visit Nakoa on the web at www.nakoa.org. That's nakoa.org. The org means it's a non-profit. I learned that. University of Hawaii assistant football coach Vance Singletary was transported to a local hospital for further evaluation after complaining of lightheadedness and dizziness. So maybe he did not faint. He did not lose consciousness, and we're starting to get some medical reports on him. Hopefully things will turn out fine. First down from the 15. Brennan looking end zone, checking off, now taking off. He's at the 15, throws into the end zone. It is caught but out of bounds, and we have a penalty flag. Boy, Brennan is back there. His savings accounts are maturing. He is back there so long.
Well, Tala Esera right there got his paws on his fellow Kahuku alumni, David New Matalolo, number 95, and he's going to get called for holding.
Mia Matalolo, by the way, of New Mexico State, one of the true freshmen playing.
Holding, number 70 on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat the first down.
You're going to see Colt Brennan with a lot of time here. And one of the reasons is that Esera was, he didn't really need to hold him, but you see him shaking him, hands on the jersey, yanking it, and the ref right there is to throw the flag. Now, New Matarolo, his dad, David, played quarterback from Honolulu in the 70s, and his other uncle, Kenny, was a teammate of mine at UH, another quarterback.
And now he's coaching.
That's right.
The ball is batted back. And we have a penalty flag.
Well, that's the New Mexico State, the front, the defenders over there on the wing backs for Hawaii, the slot backs on the other side, looked like they lined up completely past the line of scrimmage. I don't know what the call is, but it looked like they were way into the neutral zone.
The penalty is against New Mexico State. It may be roughing the passer. Here you see Hal Mummy.
Roughing the passer. Defense. A blow to the head. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So Hawaii penalized back to the 25 for holding. And now roughing the passer will move the ball up. And you see the contact. And it is Tim McManigal. McManigal called for the blow to the head.
Well, he went out there with the forearm. That's some frustration coming out at the end of the first half here on the Aggie defense.
So half the distance of the goal, the ball is on the 12.5. Triple wide receiver to the left. Dickerson, lone wide receiver to the right. And that ball, a very short pass on a receiver coming across. That was Chad Mock. Mock gets into the mixmaster, and he goes for a rinse cycle as they spin him around, and one of the players is down for New Mexico State.
It looks like number 92, Sam Ford.
Well, it does not look good. He lost his shoe on his left leg, and it looks like maybe a knee on his right leg. He is not in good shape.
And he's battled through some injuries so far this season. He started the first 4 games. Then was out last week against Fresno because of an injury, and now that he gets himself back on the field, you hate to see something like this happen.
So the ball for Hawaii, the line of scrimmage, down near the 10-yard line, and concern now for Sam Ford. Sam Ford is 6'2", 285 yards, a junior out of Chicago. So he is matriculated a long way from the Midwest into the Southwest to go to New Mexico State. What is interesting is that New Mexico State has one of its coaches is Roy Girella, who has 3 Super Bowl rings with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he used to play for Kalani High School. I mean, he was one of the favorites. Every time that Pittsburgh played in the Super Bowl, everybody in Hawaii would think Roy Girella, because he went to Kalani. And they're going to help Sam Ford off. (28-21). New Mexico State, despite their youth, despite the newness of the coaching staff and the coaching philosophy and the new conference, they trail by only 7. Hawaii, albeit knocking on the door, the ball just inside the 10-yard line. Mock is to the left and Dickerson to the right. Double wide receiver, Bryce Mullen and Best slotted inside of Mock to the left. So here comes Brennan. Brennan has really sculpted a fine first half. Brennan with Farmer back there with him, looking into the end zone, has all day, still with time, backing up, now throws, high catch that's caught, but out of the end zone. It was caught by Devon Bess. Boy, Bess can leap, huh?
At that time, Tali Isera and David Niumatalolo involved in a scrum again, but that time Isera able to hold off Niumatalolo without the holding call, and that time it looked like Colt Brennan was just going to throw that out of the back of the end zone, but like you said, Devon's got some hops. He got up there.
When you talk about David Niumatalolo, like I was saying earlier, his uncle Kenny was a teammate of mine. When I first got to UH, he was a quarterback, backup quarterback. Then he became the offensive line coach and was coaching me up on offensive. And now he's at the Naval Academy with another former coach of mine, Paul Johnson.
3rd down and 7. Hawaii can get a first down at the 3. Brennan throws. That is complete to Bryce Mullins. Leaps for the end zone. Does he get there? He does. He breaks the plane. Bryce Mullen. That is his third touchdown pass reception of this game. It is the 5th touchdown thrown by Colt Brennan. Watch this effort.
Perfect pass out here to Bryce Mullen. He goes up against 3 guys. It just says, if I can't go through you, I'm going over. He went over the top. It looked like they kind of carried him in. And Hawaii will take it. 35 points pending the extra point here in the first half.
And the extra point is good. 1:42 left to play in this first half, replete with all kinds of offense. And Hawaii out to a 2-touchdown lead again. Now you see Bryce Mullen.
But the 2 people that we've talked a lot about in the receiving court, Bryce Mullen and Devon Best, both of these guys are freshmen, folks. We'll be seeing a lot of them in the years to come. And they are growing up right before your very eyes as freshmen, getting it done. Bryce Mullen, a redshirt last year. Devon Best, a true freshman. These guys are the go-to duo for Hawaii.
What is interesting is that years and years ago, when Rick Blangiardi was an assistant coach at the University of Hawaii, he's gone on to perhaps better things. You'd have to talk to him. But he said that when you have a game like this is a chance to have a get fat night, which means to pile up a lot of statistics. The numbers just sort of roll up and roll up and roll up. And for Bryce Mullen and for Brennan, that's exactly what's happened in this first half. 73 yards in 8 plays, 3 minutes and a second in elapsed time. Kicking off is Kelly. It will go to Gourier. And that ball goes out of bounds.
It went out of bounds past the pylon, so in the end zone, then it bounced out of bounds. So
they'll put it on the 20.
Right.
Instead of up on the 35-yard line. There you see Bryce Mullen. Bryce Mullen is one of those receivers that gets open. I mean, he and Best really complement each other in the slots. First down with time, 1 minute and 42 seconds. That's a short pass. That ball is complete to Harris with running room. Breaks a tackle at the 30, up the sideline, past the 40. And we'll see where they say he stepped out of bounds. They say he stepped out at the 34. Tamarian Moreland just into the game in that defensive secondary for Hawaii. There to help him step out.
Looks like his teammates threw some nice picks out here for him. Nice little bracket blocks. Breaks it loose, steps out of bounds, but a good pickup. But there looked like almost like it was a face mask call that wasn't called.
So Moreland coming back after fighting off a block early in the play. Ball is given to Berry's big hole, bounces into his own man, then goes around the corner, breaks a tackle, and steps out of bounds over midfield into Hawaii territory at the 47. Boy, the Hawaii defense just porous on this particular instant.
Well, they look like they're in prevent defense. And I tell you what, Hawaii, they're playing against an offense that pretty much mirrors their own offense. And when you watch them in practice, when they don't blitz, they get toasted, they get burnt. When they do blitz in practice, they beat the offense. And they're playing a team that runs the same kind of offense. They need to be blitzing more. Forget the prevent, because it's not going to work.
First down at the 47, 1:27 left to play. The Aggies trying to shorten up the lead. Here's Berry's looking for a running room, and he runs into Aluminium. And Aluminium able to grab him around the neck and not let go. Gain on the play of 2 to the 45, second down and 8.
It's definitely affecting the rhythm of the Hawaii defense. This is a no-huddle offense for New Mexico State. They come out, line up, Gill looks over, gets the call, and they run the play. And you can tell there's been times tonight that the Hawaii defense, we talked about the New Mexico State offense being out of sync. The Hawaii defense, same story on the other side of the ball.
Jeremiah Williams and Justin Burries in the backfield. Ball is given to Burries, and Burries is rolled up at about the line of scrimmage. Hawaii really keen on him. Lama Francis, the defensive end, was there.
Nice job that time by Francis and nose guard Mike Lafayette. He took on the block by the center. Center trying to reach him, picks the play side, keeps his angles, works down the line of scrimmage, gets in on the tackle.
Third down, big third down play here. Dombrowski and Berries now in the backfield there on the wings with Royal Gill backing up. Throws, that is complete to Dombrowski. And he is twirled to the turf by Mullen and also Khalili Moku.
Well, Tony Akpan needs to, is that Akpan?
That is Akpan. His teammates
He needs to take a chill pill. He's about to get a flag. And just like that, the half runs out. But boy, Tony Akpan was out there in the middle of the field throwing blows with a couple of offensive linemen from New Mexico State.
So Akpan, the Nigerian, perhaps the only player in the Western Athletic Conference to hunt real lions, finally is ushered off the field as you look at Hal Mummy going to his locker room. 35-21, Hawaii in the break. That has seen nothing but offense and has seen the defense probe, has seen the defense really reeling as this first half went along. So Russell, when you look at a team like New Mexico State, yes, they can move the ball. Hawaii can move the ball. But the defense on both sides really causing problems for the coaching staff.
Yeah, for New Mexico State, they're a team that has to be feeling just fabulous about themselves right now because we talked about it in the first half, and it's getting old, but we got to say it again. New Mexico State came into this game tonight with 24 points scored total in the first half all season long in 6 games. They have 21 tonight. So for them, it's a virtual explosion on offense. They've been going up and down the field. Hawaii has made some stops here and there, but for New Mexico State to have 21 points at the break, it's a bad sign for Hawaii.
Hawaii's offense has just gone up and down this field, but again, it's the defense that causes worries, causes problems, and they have given up 21 points in the first half.
Well, Jim, they've been rushing 3 or 4 defensive linemen. In the second half, you're going to see whether or not these guys have the fuel in their tanks to go all the way, because it's a 40-yard dash for these defensive linemen every time they rush the quarterback without linebacker help. You multiply that 60 times, 60 plays a game, and they're going to be tired.
We've seen some great catches by the receivers in this game, some great passes by the quarterbacks in this game, and Hawaii leading at halftime 35-21.
To think.
Homecoming game, Hawaii against New Mexico State. Hawaii leading 35-21 at the half. It started early on. It started with the opening kickoff to A.J. Martinez. First time that Martinez has returned a kickoff this season, and he finds the going great as he is running almost by himself across midfield and all the way down into New Mexico State territory. That gave Hawaii great field position, and going to work right away was Brennan as he throws to Dickerson for the first touchdown. Then, with the Aggies moving the ball, Royal Gill fumbles. Hawaii has another opportunity, and this time Brennan throws over the middle, and a great catch by Grice Mullen. That's Grice Mullen's first touchdown and the second touchdown for Brennan. Later on, Brennan goes into the corner. It is Grice Mullen again. And so this offense just went crazy in the first half. Here's Brennan lofting it into the end zone. That time it was to Devon Bess. And then again, this time it goes to the far side to Grice Mullen. He's able to go airborne and get into the end zone. So 5 touchdown passes for Brennan, and Hawaii 35 points.
And then for New Mexico State, they kept it on the ground early. Justin Burries, we said in the early part of this game, they need to bury the Hawaii defense, and early on they did. 18 carries, 93 yards alone in the first half, 2 touchdowns for Burries. And the New Mexico State offense moving the ball tonight. They have not had much success this season, but the touchdown pass right here to Cleaver, and those account for the 21 points for the New Mexico State Aggies. They are just rolling tonight.
Halftime stats are sponsored by Ashley Furniture Home Store, Hawaii's furniture and accessory store. You're going to love this place.
There you see both teams dead even with first downs. New Mexico State with the lead in rushing yards. Hawaii with the lead. Got the edge in passing yards and total yardage. And then the turnover. That one turnover for New Mexico State could come back and haunt them.
Hawaii leading 35-21. You can see that they had almost, in fact, over 600 yards in offense in the first half. The defense yet to really answer the call. Second half about ready to get underway. We were mentioning about the offenses of both teams. And you look at Justin Berries, he already has 3 games this year where he has gone over 100 yards for New Mexico State. He has 93 yards on 18 carries. And he is on the cusp of 100 yards. And on the other side, Colt Brennan in passing, 24 for 31, 296 yards. He's on the cusp of 300. He's already thrown 5 touchdowns. He came in with 11. He now has 16 on the season. Now let's find out what's on tap.
At the beginning of the game, I said my key for Hawaii was to get fat. In the second half here, my key is get fatter. Colt Brennan has 5 touchdown passes, 1 short of the UH record 6, which Nick Rolovich achieved against BYU. Defensively, they've actually lost weight. They've got to bring the blitz, pressure the quarterback, and get the defense off the field.
For New Mexico State, they have to take advantage of their best chance of the season to pick up a W. They are 0-7. That's a losing streak of 7 games going back to last year. 0-6 this year. That 7-game losing streak, 3rd longest active losing streak in college football. But so far, a team that has struggled on offense here in the first half of the college football season. They've been moving the ball tonight. It's their best chance right here. If the defense can get a couple of stops, New Mexico State has a good chance of getting back in this ball game.
Here's Gourier. Gourier finding a hole, and he's tripped up as he crosses the 30-yard line. An excellent return. It will be first down. 30-yard return for Gourier. And it will be first down for New Mexico State. Chris Williams on the special teams made the stop for the University of Hawaii. Hawaii on the road next week against San Jose State. That means Dick Tomey. Dick Tomey, the winningest coach for the University of Hawaii. He will match up against June Jones. That's next week, and it'll be right here. Berries and Romaka in the backfield. This is Berries trying to get around the end. Can't do it. They've run that play a little too much, I would think.
Back to the well once too often. You know, we talked about this in the New Mexico State defense, how it throws off the timing, the rhythm of the defense. And actually, when you look at the play clock, it takes about the same amount of time. Right now, as soon as the ball is set, they'll run the play clock. The quarterback will look to the near side. So it takes about the same time to get the play called. But what it does is it limits Hawaii's opportunities to substitute on defense.
You see Gill now looking to the side. He has 7 seconds in which to snap the ball. He's having another look. 3 seconds in which to snap the ball. 1 second. He didn't get it off. He tried to call a timeout.
That is I was sitting here in the first half thinking this team must not have ever had a delay of game penalty, and they have one right there.
Well, what happened was he stepped back to get the call from Mummy, but there were players in his line of sight, in his view, so he trying to look around the players that are in his way. Mummy kept giving him the signal, but he wasn't getting it.
Timeout.
See, I disagree with that.
See, I thought he ran out of time.
Yeah, the clock went down to 0. That's the second time we've seen that in Aloha Stadium this year. It happened in the Boise State game. Actually, it happened up in Idaho. I totally disagree with that. When the play clock gets down to 0 and then he turns around to call a timeout, that's too late.
Well, no, I was watching Mummy on the sideline. He was trying to throw the signal in there. The quarterback wasn't getting it, and Mummy actually called the timeout. So that might have been.
There you go.
He might have called it before Gill called it, the quarterback, and so that's where we are right now with this timeout. 14:07 still in the first minute of play in the second half. So both teams, no doubt, will try to shore up their defense. And so far, Hawaii has done it as they've been able to corral Berries as he tries to angle off around the end.
New Mexico State in a huddle. What will we see next?
Well, it is a timeout.
I know it is, but you know, it's just to see them back there in a group like that. That's
get him back there, okay, guys.
Something to behold. They're getting lost back there. They're not usually standing like that in a group out there.
Brandon Allen is flanked to the far side, and to the near side is A.J. Harris. Second down. That first play lost 2 yards. Second down and 12. Keeping the ball is Gill. Throws, and that is incomplete. Excellent play by Kenny Patton coming up from the corner. Ball was intended for Nick Cleaver.
Patton limping off the field there. What happened is number 43 for Hawaii, Brad Kalilimoku, came in on a delayed blitz, forced the quarterback to throw earlier than he would like to, and Patton came up, made a nice play on the ball.
And Kenny Patton got hurt on that play. When he came in with his shoulder, thought it was his shoulder, but it looked like they're working on his knee there. And Kenny Patton has been fighting through all kinds of injuries this season. Got another one right there to see if he can get back in the ball game.
Ryan Keomaka has come into the game for him. 3rd down and 12. Gill, 3-man pattern, steps up in trouble. Eluding, and finally he's whacked down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's Elimimian. Elimimian finally tracked him down in all of that traffic.
And Hawaii coming with the blitz again, getting pressure on Gill. This is what they need to do.
So Hawaii a little bit more stubborn look on defense than we saw in the first half.
You saw them working on Patton, the sideline, and to stretch him out, checking out his knee.
Brad Evans into punt another time for New Mexico State. Andre Taylor is deep.
Boy, that time the play clock was at 0 again.
There's the punt, short punt, and the whistle blows. And we'll see whether they're going to call a delay of game here.
Nobody's watching the play clock. That thing was at 0 for like 5 seconds.
And there was a penalty flag across the way.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So they'll punt it again this time.
Those play clocks are brightly illuminated in both end zones.
Finally, I think it caught some of the officials' attention that it was running down, and they finally called one. So Evans back in to punt again, and waiting for it very patiently is Andre Taylor. Taylor out of Roanoke Park, California, and it is a fake. They give it to Cleaver, and Cleaver runs it to the 1st down.
Just barely at 1st down. Lamar Broadway came up to make the stop as New Mexico State went with the fake, but Cleaver gets the 1st down. So again, Hal Mumme going with the trickery.
17 yards into the game came Joey Vincent. Vincent was the quarterback. He takes the direct snap, and then the quick pass goes to Cleaver, and he's able to motor for the 1st down. That's deep in the playbook, guys. Deep in the playbook. 1st down. They gamble on 4th down, and they make it. So back in at quarterback is Royal Gill. Single setback. Behind him is Justin Berries. It is Berries. He gets smacked, and down he goes. Big hit by Tanuvasa Moore. And for Tanuvasa Moore, that was a blast.
Now Tanuvasa is going to line up on a slot receiver, disguising like he's in man coverage, and right before the ball is snapped, he blitzes in right into the play. Perfect defensive play call. Tanuvasa Moore lays his hand in there, makes a terrific tackle.
Loss on the play from the 46 back to the 43. So it is 2nd down and 13. Hawaii has opened the 2nd half with some good, solid defense. Ball thrown over the middle. That is complete. And with it is Jameel Hobson just into the game. Hobson played sparingly in the 1st half. And Tamarian Moreland finally figures things out and makes the tackle.
Well, he put a move on Kila Kamakavivole, turned him completely around, but after the move, not much yardage. It's still 3rd and long for the Aggies.
Hobson able to motor to the 49-yard line, and it will be 3rd down, long yardage, 3rd and about 7.5. Ramaka and Berries in the backfield again with Royal Gill. Gill looking left, throws sidelines. That is complete to A.J. Harris. And Harris steps out of bounds at the Hawaii 35-yard line. So adjustments at halftime for Hawaii, and then adjustments for New Mexico State, 16-yard gain.
Well, Hawaii comes with the blitz. Gill getting some time from his offensive line. The receiver just gets right behind Tamarian Moreland and in front of the safety. It's a perfect place to be in that coverage.
Gill is now 18 for 23, 180 yards in passing. First down from the Hawaii 35-yard line. Gill to throw again. Does. Settling in the zone that time was Brandon Allen. Short game from the 35 to about the 32-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 7. Ilmimian and Keomaka converging. So here comes New Mexico State again. Gill, sideline pattern. That is complete to Paul Dombrowski. And Dombrowski gets to the 30-yard line again, short of the first down. Ryan Keomaka coming up from the corner. Keomaka in the game, replacing Kenny Patton.
Keomaka, young man from Roosevelt High School, was a teammate of linebacker Brad Kalilimoku at Roosevelt High School, classmate. They both went to HPU out of high school and then transferred to UH and on to the football team.
Third down, big third down play now for New Mexico State. They've gone to the gadgets to succeed here. And a sack, big sack. Carl Noah. That's Noah's first sack of the year. 6'4", 225-pound sophomore out of Waianae.
Well, Noah was back there lightning quick. He came out of nowhere, got a hold of Gill and said, I'm not letting go. Takes him down. Big sack for Hawaii, forces a fourth down. Also, probably takes him out of field goal range.
What helped that to happen was the blitz. The linebacker coming out outside, the guard and the tackle cannot double team the defensive end, Carl Noah. It's one-on-one blocking, and Noah made a good move, a good pass rush move against the guard.
So here we go again on fourth down. This is where you can have all kinds of things happen. Hawaii calls a timeout. They don't want to be burned again. The Aggies, the last time it was fourth down, it was brilliant in its simplicity because they take the backup quarterback, they put him into the game. He had not been seen before. Hawaii failed to identify him, and then all of a sudden they snap it to him, and boom, to Cleaver, 17 yards and a first down.
And 2 weeks ago, we were at this very stadium talking about special teams breakdowns against Boise State. Hawaii had a chance to pull the upset against Boise State, but special teams breakdowns killed them that night. And again, New Mexico State making Hawaii pay on special teams, not only on the fake, but here's Hawaii having to use a timeout because they weren't set up properly on the punt cover right here.
So let's see what New Mexico State does. I mean, Hal Mumme has been noted to be out of the box, noted to have expanding envelopes all around him.
Expanding envelopes.
Joey Vincent is back in, by the way. Remember that?
They would do a fake again, would they? Why not? You're 0-6. 0 for your last 7. Go for it.
Ball is on the Hawaii 37-yard line.
Well, Broadway and Cleaver kind of having some moments right there. Lamar Broadway can talk a good game. He can bring it. He can bring it with the trash talking. So, you know, Cleaver's getting an earful.
Fourth down. Will Evans punt. 9 seconds left.
This is the world's longest punt right here.
They are in no hurry. And it's a fake again. And running with it, but this time getting tripped up was Joey Vincent. Lamar Broadway. It was Broadway. Oh, Broadway chirping and chirping.
See, what he did right there was
to make the play. And he's going to talk on the sideline all the time now. That may last him until the end of the game.
He's talking to Cleaver and letting him hear it. Got in his head a little bit, came around the edge. New Mexico State with the fake at Broadway's right there.
That's a terrible call by the Aggies. They just did. Hawaii called a timeout. It's a bad call.
It's too often New Mexico State. If you're going to have a trick play, you got to have another trick play, not the same one. You know that fool me once, shame on, well, Hawaii has the ball, going back to work, throw over the middle, and it's off the hands of Devon Best, and it went off a defender. That was Eric Carey defending. Oh, that could have had possibilities.
That happened a couple of times in the first half. Best went over the middle, caught the ball in between defenders. This time it's a save play, but the number 3 may have gotten there just a little bit in his face, maybe. May have just gotten enough of the vision of Devon Best to kind of thwart that play right there as it goes incomplete.
2nd down and 10 at the 40 for Hawaii. They lead here in the 3rd quarter, 35-21.
That was Eric Carey back in coverage for the Aggies.
Brennan throws sideline. That is incomplete. Out of the reach of Chad Mock. Good pressure that time by John Howell, the linebacker for New Mexico State, and that will bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 40 for Hawaii.
And the defensive coaches for New Mexico State realizing, just like Hawaii's coaches did, that they got to bring linebackers, bring corners, bring whatever you got, but you got to pressure these quarterbacks, pressure Colt Brennan, or he's going to tear you apart.
The big experienced star when you look at Hawaii is collectively that offensive line. And they have given Brennan, I mean, tons of time. 3rd down and 10 from the 40. Brennan again. Steps up. Eludes one man. He'll have the 1st down at midfield. Still running. He's at the 40. Dives to the 37. And we have a penalty flag back in Hawaii territory. Could be holding. So Brennan showing again his prowess for running, showing that he can do it. Brandon Eaton may be called for holding.
Holding, number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat the 3rd down.
They call it on Operesa instead of on Eaton.
Well, that time wave after wave after wave of white shirts came back at Brennan, and each time he sidestepped one, sidestepped the next, sidestepped the other, took off with it, and then had it not been for the holding call, would have been the 1st down for the University of Hawaii. But right now it's 3rd and 20. It's not out of the realm of possibility for Hawaii to make this.
Ball at the 30-yard line. Long yardage. They overload the right side. Best comes over to join Dickerson and Grice Mullen. Brennan, shovel pass, and tripped up. Oh, great play. Tripped up was Farmer. Justin Sober was there just to trip him up, just to get part of the shoe. And that will bring up 4th down, and Hawaii will have to punt it away.
Well, both defenses, Jim, get on the field 2nd half and do the job. They blitz a lot, which, like I said earlier, is going to work because that's what you got to do against these offenses.
Milne will punt. Stevlin Harper deep for New Mexico State. Harper comes over, lets it bounce on the 31. It goes out of bounds as it tumbles to the side. And so Milne, 5th in WAC punting, gets away a 33-yarder. And when we come back, it will be 1st down and 10 for New Mexico State. Mercedes-Benz invites you to check out what they have to offer, located on the web at mbusa.com, mbusa.com. So New Mexico State goes back to work with 7:55 left to play in the 3rd period. They trail in this game 35-21. Brandon Allen is flanked to the far side. And to the near side is A.J. Harris. They come out with double wides. Alone in the backfield is Gill. He gives it to Harris. Harris runs in to Kamaka Vivaoli, and Kamaka Vivaoli will not let him go anywhere. If that was a rodeo, he'd be able to tie him up and get a good score.
It's a big series for the New Mexico State offense right here. The defense forces Hawaii's 1st punt of the night. That gives the ball back to New Mexico State. They need to do something with it. They've been able to move the ball in the 1st half, but right now they're down a couple of scores. And they'd love to get one right here to get back to this ball game.
2nd down and 9 for New Mexico State. Triple wide receiver to the right. Royal Gill steps up, throws over the middle. Oh, he caught that ball. I mean, he was in a lot that they were trying to develop, and the tractors hadn't shown up yet. That was Derek Dubois.
Well, both of the inside linebackers come on delayed blitz there. When that happens, that middle area of the field is empty. The safety's got to step up to make plays on receivers because the receiver reads it. The receiver, that slot receiver, sees the linebackers blitzing in, so he runs inside, runs a route inside to that open area, and the quarterback just made a nice throw. Good decision.
First down, the ball at the 48-yard line of Hawaii. Gill now has gone over 200 yards, 204 yards for Royal Gill. In motion is Dombrowski. Gets the, well, now the penalty flag flies, and it could be delay of game again. This has really become troublesome for New Mexico State here in the second half.
Yeah, they just went to Derek Dubois. That might be the guy needing to go to in the second half. He's averaging 10 yards per rush.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
12 yards per reception. It's about 11 yards every time he touches it. He got 17 on that pass reception right there.
So his false start was a penalty, not delay of game.
So it was false start. Double tight ends. Another short pass, and that ball goes off the hands of Berries. And then Berries gets drilled by Moreland.
And the reason the ball went off the hand of Berries is he could see Moreland coming. Moreland was not trying to go for the ball or anything. Moreland full speed ahead, coming to lay the hat, and he did.
Well, you could hear that a long way off. That'll bring up second down and 15 following that false start penalty and the drilling by Moreland. Royal Gill again, four-man pattern. Gill in trouble all the way back to the 35-yard line, gets out of it. He's at the 45, angles to the 49, still very short of the first down. But Hawaii had him. It appeared they had him boxed in. And he's able to roll out of it.
Now Hawaii's defensive coach is doing a good job of mixing up the blitzes, where the blitzes are coming from. They've got 4 linebackers to choose from. That time they send Kamaka Pivola. He goes in, has a beat on the quarterback, just misses the tackle, and Gill does a terrific job of just running it for some yards.
A lot of scoring in the first half, nothing so far in the second half. 6:26 left to play in the third quarter. Ramaka and Berries now back with Royal Gill. Gill drops back and lofts it off to Berries, and he drops the ball. Boy, he was looking upfield to see who would challenge him, and it was Keomaka who was coming up from the corner. And he just took his eyes off of it. That'll bring up fourth down. It may bring up another interesting fourth down.
That's the second time they've gone to Berries, and he's dropped the ball. First thing you got to do when you're receiving is get the ball. You know the ball's coming to you, catch it, get it into your body, and then make a move. But you can't make the move without the ball.
Andre Taylor is back to receive this punt. And this time, I believe there will be one. Even though Joey Vincent is in, that quarterback on that successful fake punt. 2 fourth downs ago. Here's the punt. And keeping away from it, that ball will bounce inside the 10, roll inside the 5, all the way to the 1-yard line. What a punt. That was sweet. 50 yards. And Hawaii will start at the limit of the field here at their own 1. On that punt, by the way, one of the New Mexico State players on the special teams touched it.
Well, where was that?
I don't know where that was either.
Big time break for Hawaii right there.
Instead of at the 1, Hawaii has the ball over the 5-yard line at the 6.
That's some home cooking.
And they're still discussing things with the referee, Bill McCabe. McCabe used to be in the National Football League as one of the replay officials, and he was there for a long time. And then politics, I guess, reared its ugly head, And he was dispatched into the referee Knight.
Now see,
First touching. Therefore, the ball was put at the 6-yard line. First down.
The WAC is one of the only 2 conferences in the nation that don't have replay this year. They are practicing it this year on every game, but a play like that, the replay would have really come in handy.
Hawaii will take it.
Bremen from the 6. Brennan throws long, and there could have been some holding there.
It looked like holding to me.
Shakri Shabazz holding on Ross Dickerson. He may have had a hold of Ross Dickerson late in the pattern.
And all of a sudden, the home cooking went bad right there. You know, Ross Dickerson was running free, and Shabazz definitely had an arm on him as he went down the sideline. But the only people who could see it was the New Mexico State coaching staff, and they're not going to call it.
That's a makeup call right there.
Ball again at the 6, 2nd down and 10. Triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan in the end zone, almost a safety. Gets away. 5. Out of bounds at the 10. Is pushed out of bounds. Good pressure by Sober. Sober almost had him in the end zone. And then McManigal was able to push him out of bounds. He got out to the 11-yard line. Gain of 5.
Well, Colt Brennan saving his team right here. If he goes down in the end zone, it's a safety and a potential 9-point swing if New Mexico State got the ball back and scored, but he breaks out of it. And Colt Brennan, he just adds a whole new dimension to this Hawaii offense with his running ability. And it's not a freak-out, panicked kind of run. He does it with purpose, with intent, and he's just another thing that the New Mexico State defense needs to worry about.
3rd down and 5. The ball at the 11. Brennan back to work. Throws. Angle pattern. That's complete to Dickerson. And Dickerson out over the 20. That's far enough for the first down. And more. Shabazz there, along with his white-shirted teammates. Finally gets him out of bounds.
Well, the Aggies came with a blitz again on that play, but Colt Brennan does a nice job of stepping up into the pocket and delivering the ball.
Look out for Nevada. They defeat Louisiana Tech 37-27. They're right in it. 38-21 Boise State over San Jose State. San Jose State on the blue carpet. And Fresno State having their way with Utah State big time. First down, the ball at the 24. Brennan throws long over the middle, incomplete. That's intended for Chad Mock.
Right before that play, Colt Brennan bent over to pick up his mouthpiece, and I got a little worried. I thought we were going to see another one of his motion moments, shall we say, that we saw against Boise State, but he kept it together and almost almost hit a nice one there across the middle.
You mean you thought he was going to throw up again?
Yes, yeah. Exactly.
You know what he did do is he realized that number 8, McGonigal, the safety, was blitzing, and it threw a nice long pass right to where the safety is supposed to be. So it was a nice read by Colt Brennan.
Mock is to the left and Dickerson to the right. They put 2 receivers in the slot. Throwing to Dickerson. Great catch at the 35-yard line. They roll him down at about the 37. That's enough for a first down. Dickerson, the most experienced of all of the receivers.
Yeah, nice play by Dickerson. You know, he would have probably been playing one of the slot receiver positions, but his high school teammate Jason Rivers, who would have been starting at that wideout position, broke an ankle earlier this year and not on the team because of that. So Dickerson outside playing wide receiver.
14-yard pickup. Brennan now has thrown for 328 yards and 5 touchdowns. First down from the 38. Over the middle, crossing pattern. This is complete to Bess. Bess had good interference that time from the umpire. Kind of used a striped shirt to break free. And it takes courage to go that shallow across the middle because there's still a lot of traffic in there. Very short gain on the play.
Well, Bess gets the ball, and he's one of those small, slippery, shifty guys, and he makes terrific moves. But sometimes you got to realize there's just nothing more to be made and go down and get as much yards for your team as possible. That time he lost 2 yards that he had already gained by jumping backwards at the end of the play.
Bryce Mullen and Best, receivers that are known for running after the catch. 2nd down and 9. Brennan looks, throws long over the middle. That is wide open to Best. 20, 10, 7-yard line. Eric Carey saves the touchdown. And Best getting up slowly. 54-yard pass play. And when he caught that, you had the impression it was only a matter of time because Hawaii kept probing that secondary. And this time, Best running at the angle.
Devon Best in the back of his helmet wears the number 2. You might remember last year Hawaii had a number 2. Chad Owens had made a living off of that deep middle route as Devon Best comes off. Might have tweaked an ankle a little bit. There's the numbers on Devon Best, 128 yards and a touchdown so far in this ball game with 4:19 left to play. But Chad Owens last year, you can just picture it in your mind, him catching that deep post pattern across the middle, and Devon Best doing his Chad Owens impersonation right there.
That number 2 could also be for Jason Ferguson, who was the wide receiver, and he is out for what they consider to be a season.
Yeah, Ferguson injured in the first game of the season, first series of the season against Southern California.
1st down, goal to go. Into the end zone, batted in the air, intercepted. And he will be thrown down or at least halted in the end zone. That's Matt Greibel, and Greibel has his first interception.
And they might be calling it on number 31, Shabazz.
Pass interference. Number 31 defense. The ball
that's
be placed
another
at the
break.
2-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Threw into the end zone. And all of a sudden an interference call comes out here. And there you see it.
And that was a very obvious holding. Now Shabazz has been holding quite a lot tonight on the pass patterns. Hasn't been called. That time the refs decided to pull the flag because he had his arm draped around the receiver's back.
Yeah, early in this drive we talked about Shabazz getting away with one. Did not get away with that one. He got caught. It's the 1st and goal for Hawaii.
Farmer under center is Brennan. Farmer, the lone setback, fakes the handoff. The Farmer throws into the end zone. That's a touchdown. It is the 6th touchdown pass by Brennan, and Bryce Mullen again comes up with the touchdown reception.
Well, that time it looked like an absolute tackle on the near side right here. Watch Ross Dickerson. Ross Dickerson practically tackled the rush in coming in. No call on that play. Hawaii will take it. A touchdown for the Warriors.
Bryce Mullen, 7 catches, 104 yards. And Mullen with 4 touchdowns. 4. Ball is kicked up and in by Kelly. And it's now 41-21. Hawaii with a substantial lead.
Well, you're going to see this block again that Russ was talking about. Dickerson on the defensive end. Looks like a tackle there. Could have been flagged for it. However, that touchdown pass by Colt Brennan is his 6th touchdown pass. Ties the school record. He shares it with Nick Rolovich, who threw 6 touchdowns against BYU.
That's at 41-21. It's more than that. It's 42-21. So a substantial lead now for Hawaii with 3:49 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Hawaii did not look good last week against La Tech after a spirited effort against Boise State here on this same field. Courier, Dubois, and Harris in the end zone.
So Colt Brennan tying the record by Nick Rolovich, and there's Nick Rolovich right there in the screen with the hat on the left side. Nick Rolovich now on the coaching staff for the University of Hawaii, a volunteer assistant coach. Nick Rolovich watching his record fall here tonight, or at least be tied.
So 3:49 left. Triple receivers in the end zone. Kelly kicks off, and it again will go to Guerrier to the 20. And they roll him up there. 1st down for New Mexico State at that point. 3:43 left here in quarter number 3. So Hawaii, when they started to throw deep, even when they were down deep in their own territory, they had had a plan that maybe not would have come to fruition early. But as time went on, they started to probe that secondary again and again, and they tweaked it a little bit. And finally, they got it to Bess and then to Bryce Mullen for the touchdown. First down. Backward pass. They get the ball out to Derek Dubois. And Dubois, much like a streetcar named Desire and Blanche Dubois, this time the streetcar runs him over.
Dubois averaging over 10 yards per touch this season. That time he got locked back good by the Hawaii defense, swarming all over that one. That's how Mummy, he looks like a worried football coach. The sweat, the towel, he's working, trying to turn the fortunes of this New Mexico State program.
Reynolds Fruan there making that last stop. Gill back to pass again, chased out of the pocket, now throws over the middle. That is complete to Dubois. Keeps his feet and gets a few more yards, very close to the first down. Tanavasa Moy finally undercuts in there.
There's Dubois again.
And it is first down for New Mexico State.
Trying to keep that average above 10 yards per touch. You got some yardage right there, about 12 yards on that play for a first down for the Aggies.
New Mexico State trailing now 42-21. In a game that's had offense. I mean, it's an offensive epidemic. That ball is thrown, almost picked up by Keomaka. The pressure was really on Gill that time, and he was hit as he threw. Tony Akbom with the pressure.
I like what Hawaii's defensive coaches are doing. They've got a 21-point lead, but they're not backing off. They blitzed two linebackers that time, got in Gill's face, almost came away with the pick. 21 points might seem like a big lead, but the Aggies scored 21 points in the second quarter, so they can come back. Hawaii got to keep the heat up and don't back off. Bring the blitz.
Gill under center again. Very single setback. They give it to him trying to turn the corner. He just simply runs out of room. There is no way that he could have turned the corner. Now they're going to say that Hawaii hit him late.
I said number 9 pushed in. I saw the bit of it. Come on.
Gee, he's like me. He misspeaks.
See, now it was on. Now he turns it off to tell us what the call is.
Yeah, he's got it backward now. That's Bill McCabe.
Personal foul, end of the run.
So you can hear him making his case.
I kind of like that. You know, gives us a little insight into the game. I like that.
Well, it's a good call. He was right. Number 9, Keomaka, clearly out of bounds with an extra shove. Gets the flag.
Well, we don't want to hear what June Jones is saying right now. That's not fit for TV.
Berry's, I believe, is still on the other side, and he is down in front of the Hawaii bench with the New Mexico State trainers looking at him. You see his helmet there, and they're just helping him up now.
I want to clear up something I was talking about earlier. The 6 touchdown passes, a record for Nick Rolovich. That's a record for touchdown passes in one half. The record for a game for the University of Hawaii is 8. I wanted to clear that up. And now that I have that off my chest, I feel much better.
You know, the way Brennan is playing, that could be threatened. That could be threatened. So we'll wait until Mr. Burries gets to the other side of the field. Hopefully he can continue.
See, this would be a good time to have a microphone on Jerry Glanville. You know, he's the famous for the this is the NFL, which stands for not for long when you're making calls like that. And he's good with those kind of conversations with the officials.
Jeremiah Williams has gone into the game to take the place of Berries. First down for New Mexico State. They have the ball at the 49-yard line. At the New Mexico State 49. Gill looking over the middle, chase out of the pocket. Now he starts to run, and they swallow him up at the 45. Gain on the play of about 6. Solomon Elamimian got to it.
Nice job of Elamimian staying with the quarterback, coming up to make the tackle, not letting him get the first down. Giving
Justin Berry some water on the sideline, trying to maybe get him ready to come back into the game. Second down, broken play. Gill in trouble, throws it into the turf. He was outside the tackle box, so he will not be called for downing the ball.
Well,
Aloha
Francis showed some basketball speed right there as he kind of comes in, reads the quarterback on the busted play. Look at him, he's getting there. For a big guy, he's listed at 215, but there's no way that's correct. He's probably about 250, 255, 260, that area. And he can move. He can move for a big guy.
He must have run about 6-7 miles by now. Chasing Gill all night.
He might not be 250 anymore.
Third down and 4. Gill to throw. Steps up, throws over the middle, and that is incomplete. Right in with the receiver was Elimimian. It was intended for Nick Cleaver.
I'll tell you, terrific job by Elimimian in coverage there. A linebacker right on shadowing a receiver. You know, Elimimian, his older brother Abraham was a cornerback here last year. As a true freshman, he steps into this defense, and he's been making an impact. The last 2 or 3 games, he's been coming on real strong. I've been thinking about it. The last time a true freshman stepped in and really contributed as a linebacker, it was like Mark Odom, 1987, when he stepped in and had a huge impact. Elimimian coming in, having that same kind of impact.
Fourth down, and they're going to try it. 4th and 4. Gill bouncing, looking, chase, now throws. That is incomplete. It was over the head of Brandon Allen.
And Ikaika Aloha Francis again with the pressure, just having a terrific game. He might not be getting the sacks, but he is chasing that quarterback on almost every down.
Well, you know, the sure sign of respect is when you get it from your peers. Royal Gill was being chased by Aloha Francis on that play, and after the play was all said and done, Royal Gill went back and picked up help get Aloha Francis off the ground. That's respect when the quarterback is helping the defender up off the turf.
So here comes Colt Brennan. Already he has thrown for 6 touchdowns, 4 of them to Bryce Mullen. He has thrown for 385 yards. And it's first down for Hawaii at their own 45-yard line. Double wide receivers. Brennan looking over the middle now, throws short pass that time to Bryce Mullen. Eludes one man, gets outside inside the 40-yard line. And they finally usher him out of bounds as he gets to the 36. 19-yard gain and a first down. Greibel chased him out.
It's got to be a scary moment when you're Bryce Mullen. You get this ball, you look up ahead, and all you see is white jerseys up in front of you, but puts a nice move on the first guy, makes a miss, gets some open field for himself, and some good yards after the catch.
And he was a redshirt freshman last year, so he had a year to sit back and watch Chad Owens and mimic some of his moves in practice.
He's doing a great job right there.
First down, and now the line of scrimmage is the 36. Brennan throws. That is complete. Sideline pattern to Dickerson. Stays in bounds, and they wrap him up. Shabazz was there, along with Alex Bernard. 16-yard gain. And Hawaii just chewing up this secondary now for New Mexico State.
And when the coaches...
Brennan now has gone over 400 yards. He is 32 for 43, 428 yards. 6 touchdowns.
And when the coaches go looking for the quarterback, one of the things they look for is a kid who can throw that pass right there. 40 yards across the field for 5-yard gain into the flats. He's got to have arm strength.
First down from just outside the 20-yard line. Brennan looking. Oh, look at this time. Throws it complete to Mock at the 10-yard line. And Mock was in a crowd. Well, Brennan was able to thread it into a phone booth.
I'll tell you, Brennan is way comfortable in this offense. They always talk about players just being able to react and make plays. Watch Colt Brennan right here. Just a little quick sidestep. Boop, no problem. Didn't even look at him. Folks, that is a quarterback coming into his own right there. And Colt Brennan's not even looking directly at the pressure. Just feels it coming, sidesteps it, and completes the play. Colt Brennan is doing a great job tonight for Hawaii.
First and goal to go. Quick pass. That time, Bryce Mullen did not turn around.
As Devon Bess.
Excuse me, Bess.
And Brennan still on the money. Hit him right in the numbers, but the numbers on the back.
Yeah. Brennan's doing such a great job. He's even hitting people square in the back that I'm looking at him. He's hitting everybody.
Rice Mullen, number 1, and Bess, number 7. That time it was Devon Bess. He thought that the pattern would be deeper, but it wasn't.
Well, 1 and 7 on these uniforms can be confused.
We've been through that.
Dark numbers on dark uniforms, huh?
Yeah. Throw, and that time it was thrown behind Mock. Mock on a crossing pattern at the 5-yard line, and we have some bravado going on after the play.
Yeah, well, good job. The offensive line not reacting, not getting the penalty, because usually the guy who reacts and throws the second blow gets the penalty.
That's Tala Isera.
You're going to see a replay.
The flag comes in.
The offensive line going against Jim Cottrell.
That was the Vlade Divac
After the play was
flop
over,
right there.
unsportsmanlike conduct, number 45 on the offense, 15-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So they call unsportsmanlike conduct on Tanuvasa Moore.
On the offense?
On the offense. Said 45, right?
He did, but the ref needs to check his scorecard because there's no 45 on offense.
That's right. So,
see, if he leaves his microphone on again, maybe we could help him. He'll correct it right here. No, he won't. He's having a tough night.
No. Bill McCabe.
But either way, how do you call that on Hawaii? Tanuvasa.
Yeah, Tanuvasa.
That was such a bad call. He's on the bench.
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench. That's a tough penalty to get it sitting on the bench. 3rd down, the ball at the 25-yard line. 3rd down and goal to go for Hawaii. Brennan, 3-man pattern to the left. Now throws over the middle, and that's hit into the air, incomplete. That was intended for Bess.
We talked about Colt Brennan doing a great job. That time, maybe not so much. He threw that into a nightclub dance floor. There was about 50 people out there. He threw it to the one guy in a black uniform out in the middle of it. And the result is a 4th down for Hawaii.
You're absolutely right. He's really lucky because that ball got batted up into the air. Real lucky. One of those 5 guys around him, 5 defenders, didn't come down with the interception.
Dan Kelly trying a 42-yard field goal now straight away out of the hold of Milne, Kurt Milne. Ingram is the long snapper. The kick is on the way, and that is not nearly good enough. So Hawaii just runs out of fuel. The attempted field goal does not even come close. 9 seconds left in the 3rd period. Hawaii leading 42-21, and New Mexico State will go back on offense.
Jim Jones asking about what was it on that call, that unsportsmanlike call, but he talked to us a couple of weeks ago after that special teams debacle against Boise State. He said he needed his kicking unit to kick the ball a little higher, and that ball just came out low. Maybe Dan Kelly, just a freshman, thinking about it maybe a little bit too much on that kick.
1st down. Rolo Gill fakes, pump fakes, chased out of the pocket. Now throws incomplete. Closest to the pass was Derek Dubois. And again, excellent pressure by Kamaka Vivaoli. 3 seconds left to play.
Yeah, good
pressure. 3rd period.
Good pressure by Kamaka Vivaoli, like you said, Jim. You got to feel good about him because he's playing a new position. He's defensive end, a backup defensive end in the 4-3 scheme last year. This year he gets moved to outside linebacker and just doing a terrific job for the Warriors.
2nd down from the 25. Gill again in trouble. Steps out. Now throws. That is complete. Coming back for it was A.J. Harris. And that'll be a 1st down for New Mexico State as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Hawaii leads after 3 periods, 42-21. A 15-yard gain, ending quarter number 3.
No one ever
For a small gift box or a large gift basket, find the perfect sweet gift for that special someone at Big Island Candies. Call 1-800-93-55510 or visit BigIslandCandies.com to view their wide selection. From the good people on the Big Island of Hawaii. 1st down for New Mexico State as we begin the 4th period. Hawaii leading 42-21. We have been up and down this field. Royal Gill, the quarterback, steps up. Chase out of the pocket again. Now throws incomplete. We are seeing that a lot. Kiala Watson able to put the pressure on that time.
Big Kiala Watson, number 93, was hurt last year. Well, he had that blood disorder which kept him out of football, and hasn't been able to work out, do anything physical for an entire year because of that disorder. So it hasn't worked out at all, hasn't run at all, but you know, comes back and is a contributor to this team.
He's easy to pick out with those long white arms on the black uniform.
Well, and he's 330 pounds. He's a big boy.
2nd down and 10 from the 43. That is a very quick pattern to Allen, and it's also solved quickly by Lamar Broadway.
Well, both defenses right here stepping it up. I mean, Hawaii scored 14 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second. Aggies scored 21 points in that first half, but in that third quarter, only 7 points scored. It was by Hawaii, and all of a sudden the offense has turned it on a little bit, and the defense turned it up.
3rd down and 10 from the 43. Gill scrambling, throws over the middle. That's complete to Dombrowski, breaking a tackle at the 37, gets inside the 35. Paul Dombrowski. Lamar Broadway finally made the stop for the Hawaii defense. That's a 1st down. Good clutch play. 24-yard gain for New Mexico State.
Well, Hawaii comes to the blitz. They bring Kamakaviva in on a pass rush. Gill just does a nice job stepping up into the pocket and giving his receivers enough time to get open.
Harris and Allen are flanked to the left. 1st down from the 33 of Hawaii for New Mexico State. Gill in trouble, hit from behind, fumbles the ball, and it's still loose. And we'll see who gets it. It's Hawaii. Kamakaviva made the hit. Boy, he just went past him one time, but was not going to go through the revolving door again. Tanuvasa Moy, I believe, came up with the fumble.
You know, it's just a matter of time before something like this happened. Both quarterbacks have been spending weeks, if not months, back behind the line of scrimmage making plays happen. That time Gill spent just a little too long back there. He got hit from the back, and the result is a turnover. University of Hawaii now coming back the other way.
Nice job by Broadway of diving for the ball, not letting the offender get it. And then Tanuvasa Moy, just really quick reaction, getting on the ball, recovering for this team.
2nd time that the New Mexico State Aggies have turned it over because of a fumble. Here's Mock. Behind blocking. Oh, excellent block by Sattelli. And that brings Mock inside the 40 of New Mexico State, all the way down to the 37. 16-yard pass play. And a 1st down.
Mock catches this ball on the run. He's running towards the quarterback at full speed. Watch Brennan. He's just going to throw it to Mock. Mock's coming back to him. There you go. See Sattelli upfield making a nice block, and Mock just running it across the field where there's an opening and getting good yards.
1st down. The ball at the 37. In motion is Bryce Mullen. Brennan going toward the short side, and then tries to get it to Farmer. And something was wrong there.
Well, Farmer was on his knee when he caught the ball, so it's down there.
Well, here we are with 13-11 left to play in this ball game, and the only rushing yards in this ball game for Hawaii has come from the quarterback. Colt Brennan, 8 carries, 41 yards. And Nate Ilawa out of this ball game. Nate had some good runs last week, or excuse me, a couple of weeks ago against Boise State, but he's out with the turf toe this week, and with the primary running back out of this ball game. David Farmer, Doug, as you said, is used primarily as a blocker. Colt Brennan has all the rushing yards so far for Hawaii.
Triple wide receiver to the left. Brennan looking, throws. That is complete to Bryce Mullen. And Mullen is twirled down at the 25-yard line. Alex Bernard finally diagnosed the play. Another 14-yard gain. And Brennan is just going crazy with yardage now.
Well, Bryce Mullen takes it to the inside. Nobody's there. Linebackers have vacated the area. There's a nice hookup between Brennan and Bryce Mullen.
Brennan now 459 yards, 36 for 50 in passing. An amazing performance tonight, 42-21. Brennan back to pass, throws sideline pattern off the hands and then intercepted. Off the hands of Bess and intercepted by Alex Bernard. That's his first interception of the season. So turnabout is fair play.
Well, Colt Brennan throws this pass a little behind his receiver, Devon Bess. Has to reach back to try and catch it. Bats it up in the air a little bit, and the defender comes up and makes a nice grab.
Fifth interception of the season for Brennan. And New Mexico State now back on offense.
Yeah, Hawaii's gotten away with a couple of those batted around passes, but that time the Aggies there to get the turnover.
So first down at their own 22-yard line. Gill with time throws and throws it badly. Throws it into the turf. It was intended for Harris. Tamarian Moreland covering on the play. Akban talking to the referee as he goes back to the Hawaii side.
Yeah, Justin Shopbell, the left guard for New Mexico State, he just came out of his stance and he just fired right at the knees of Keala Watson. Well, Watson able to keep his feet. That's a dangerous way to get off the ball.
They had the ball at the 22.5, and now they correct it, put it back at the 22. 42-21, Hawaii leading. We're in the fourth period. 12:34 left to play. And Royal Gill throwing again. Four-man pattern. Gill throws. That is tipped and then incomplete. Tipped by Lamar Broadway. It was intended for Paul Dombrowski.
And Broadway coming on for his team here, coming in as safety, as a reliever, and making 3 good plays in a row. He's in coverage here. The ball is thrown, and Broadway just leaping, stretching out in the air every inch of his body, and gets the ball, hits the ball with his fingertips. Just nice athletic play.
Third down and 10 from the 22. Gill again, doggedly looking. Chased out of the pocket yet another time. In trouble and throws it over the Hawaii bench. Now Gill has done that time and time again as this second half has worn along. And Gill and Alama Francis pat each other again. Alama Francis right there with him as Gill threw that ball away.
This is the Hawaii offense builds a 21-point lead right here. That basically in the fourth quarter takes the running game out of it. And when New Mexico State has to go back and pass on every play, they become one-dimensional, and that's problems for the Aggie offense.
And you got to watch this fourth down again, because down 21 points, 0-6 on the season. Wide punt.
Brad Evans back to punt. Joey Vincent, the backup quarterback, is in the game, and they're playing the waiting game again. 6 seconds to snap the ball. And it will be a punt. Calling for the fair catch, letting the ball drop is Taylor. Ball goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. It will be first down for Hawaii. 50-yard punt and no return. More to come. Central Pacific Bank sponsors the Loyalty Award by donating $100 toward the Central Pacific Bank Endowed Scholarship Fund for every touchdown Hawaii scores. Central Pacific Bank, with its loyal banking, has to reach deep into the pockets tonight. 6 touchdowns, and so they will be charged accordingly. Hawaii goes back on offense. I'll tell you, the wide receivers tonight have run at least half a marathon. They've been up and down this field. Brennan throws. That is complete. Another completion for Brennan. This one to Mott on the 39, an 11-yard gain. That's enough for another first down. Spencer Moore made the stop for New Mexico State.
You got to think, Jim, about the wide receivers running so far. Imagine the DBs covering those wide receivers. They've run the same amount of yards, but they've run them backwards.
Yeah, they're like Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire.
See, I thought
everyone said Fred Astaire was a great dancer, but the great dancer was Ginger Rogers. She had to do all the steps in high heels and backwards. Here's Bess in motion. First down. Ball just short of the 40. Brennan looking. Now he starts to run. And they converge on him as he gets to the 45-yard line. Tim McManigal and Dustin Sober.
You know, if nothing else, this Hawaii offense, if you're sitting at home wondering if you should come out to the ball game, if nothing else, these guys never run it just to kill the clock. They're up 21 in the fourth quarter, about midway through the fourth quarter, and they're back lining up and throwing it. It's a crowd pleaser, if nothing else. And this guy, Colt Brennan, is lining it up big time tonight. What's he up to? 6 touchdown passes?
6 touchdown passes, 471 yards. Brennan on a handoff. This is Farmer to the 50, to the 44-yard line, and a first down. Wait a minute now. That was a running play.
I know it. And as soon as you say,
I got to see the replay to make sure it was a handoff.
It wasn't a shovel pass. Yeah.
You see, get the ball and the handout.
So as soon as you say they keep throwing it, they're not looking to run out the clock. David Farmer picks it up.
Somebody gets the first down.
Somebody can hear me down there. I know it.
First down on the 44-yard line of New Mexico State. Brennan, triple wide receiver to the right. Brennan looking over the middle. Now throws long. Oh, open is Mock. Has it at the 10. Touchdown. 44-yard touchdown to Mock. 7th touchdown pass by Brennan. Brennan goes over 500 yards, 515 yards.
So we're looking at this again. Now it turns out the running play to Farmer was just to set up the deep ball. Chad Bach just gets ahead of the defense, behind the defense, and that's Brennan hitting him in stride. And these guys, you guys talked about it. Both of you talking about this is one of those get fat nights where you add to the stats. Well, the Hawaii offense is doing that tonight, big time.
And in the second half, the defense has come up, made some nice plays too.
Kelly drills it. And that makes it 49-21 in favor of Hawaii. First touchdown reception of the year for Mock. And for Brennan, that is touchdown pass on the season. Number 18, his 7th in this game. He's gone for over 500 yards.
Listen up.
49-21. Colt Brennan, 38 of 53, 515 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Chad Mock, 147 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Mullen, 137 yards and 4 touchdowns. Devon Bess, 128 yards, and Bess also with a touchdown. 7 touchdown passes. There you see David Farmer running the ball. The kickoff goes into the end zone and will be brought out to the 20-yard line. Or is it?
20-yard line.
Yeah, well, that was a bad call. That ball went out of bounds.
That's what it looked like to me.
That ball clearly went out of bounds. But you know what? It's 49-21, and the officials are double parked.
They want to get out of here.
What do you say? That ball went out of bounds, huh? Oh, my.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my.
They see the palms up. Where's the flag?
Yeah. Well, Hawaii will take it. You know, if nothing else, that graphic we showed about the...
Guess who's back? Here's Burries. Burries goes from the 20 to the 30. That's 99 yards now for Burries. Remember, he has 3 100-yard games, and he's very close to 100 yards now, and they yank him.
So we were talking about, we showed that graphic about the number of receptions for the Hawaii receivers. If nothing else, if you're a receiver sitting at home thinking about where to go, that's all the proof you need. They sprint it around and everybody gets their touches.
You know, the Aggies came in with the #1 rated pass defense in the WAC, but that's because they were playing teams that were running it on them. Against Hawaii, now I doubt they'll be #1 again after this game.
I don't think so. Ramaka running from the 30 to the 35-yard line, 10:27 left to play in the game. Tamarian Moreland And Solomon Elamimian there to double team him. Burris comes back into the game. He checked his stats. He has 99 yards. One more, and he will go over 100 yards for the 4th time this season. See if he gets the call here. He does. 100, and that's it. 100. He only goes for 1 yard.
See, this is what I don't get.
Or does he? He may have gone no gain. Kalili Moku there to bang him.
This I don't get. You're 0-6, 0-7, 3rd longest losing streak in the country. You've been throwing it all game long. Why stop now? You got nothing to lose.
Burris is still at 99 yards. They fake the handoff to him this time. Gill rolling, being chased, now throws up the sidelines and throws it over the head of Dubois.
And we go to 4th down. And question is whether they're going to punt it or not. They tried 2 fake punts earlier. They had 1 successful, 1 not.
Good pressure on that last play by Lawrence Wilson, number 99. He is 6'1", 300 pounds. The junior out of Honolulu.
Well, you fake it now after 3 running plays. That will make no sense. Absolutely no sense.
Punting again is Brad Evans. At least we think he's going to punt. They've had 2 fake punt attempts. One 17 yards on the first down, and the other not successful. You see what they do here. Long snapper is Dan White, and they're going to fake it. They throw. It's tipped in the air. It's caught. Oh, it's caught.
Great job.
What a play. Clint Jones just into the game, and it works again. Hawaii was all around the receiver, but Clint Jones finally grabbed it and would not let go. That's an 18-yard fake punt, 1st down.
Now, Tamarian Moreland on the coverage here, what he needs to do is jam the guy at the line of scrimmage. If he's the possible guy to the possible receiver, you got to keep him on the line of scrimmage. Don't let him release.
Ball is given to Jeremiah Williams. As you take a look at this again, look at this catch. Excellent catch that time.
That's a great catch, but I still say I don't get that. If why run the ball for 3 straight plays and then take it on 4th down? That's bizarre.
And I'm sorry, I said Tamarian Moreland, but that was number 30, Dane Porlis, in coverage.
2nd down and 10 following the run by Jeremiah Williams that went nowhere. Here's Royal Gill to throw another time, and the flags fly, and it could be a false start. 8:42 left. So apparently you were wrong about the officials being double parked, and possibly the reason is that they're paid by the hour.
And maybe in New Mexico, the New Mexico State bus is double parked because all of a sudden they seem to have thrown in the towel, although they were back to pass right there.
I tell you what, they're 2 for 1. The Aggies are in fake punts. They might want to line up in a punt on every down and just fake it.
You know, coming into this game, they were 24% on 3rd downs, but 46% on 4th downs. Maybe that's what they're getting at, you know?
Gill throws crossing pattern. That is complete to Harris. Harris to the 25, and Harris with running room, able to explore that secondary. Landon Kafensis was there to finally stop him.
I tell you, Hawaii cannot afford to relax because this offense, just like their offense, just like the Hawaii offense, they can come back. At least 3 defenders had a shot at the receiver that time, and nobody brought him down. They can't relax. They got to play hard. The game's not over.
Ball is just outside the 22-yard line of Hawaii. Gill drops back, throws over the middle. That is a diving attempt. Is it a catch? Yes, it's a catch on the 2-yard line by Derek Dubois. We've seen 2 excellent plays by New Mexico State in this drive. On the fake punt, the play by Clint Jones, and now by Derek Dubois. Laying out for this catch.
Where Derek Dubois had Lona Manners beat. If Royal Gill, not Turner Gill, Royal Gill, if he had hit him in stride, that would have been a quick 6 for New Mexico State.
1st and goal to go. The ball on the 4. Gill looking into the end zone with time. Now throws. That is caught. Touchdown. Gill able to get the ball to David Romaka for the touchdown. So Gill, he contributes some statistics. Gill has thrown for over 300 yards.
Well, Romaka lines up in the backfield, just runs through the line of scrimmage and out into the flats. Gill had all day to throw. Hawaii rushing, only 3 defensive linemen, no pressure on the quarterback, touchdown.
So Romaka with the touchdown catch. Cleaver earlier with a touchdown catch. And the extra point is perfect. So 7:42 in a statistical tussle. 49-28, Hawaii.
Say how do you do to the meat-normous omelet sandwich. Meat on top of meat on top of meat. The new meat-normous. Wake up with the king.
Sears Hawaii is a proud supporter of University of Hawaii athletics. KHNL News 8 meteorologist Cherry Shima wants to put your best pictures on the air. Email or send your favorite weather shot to KHNL News 8. Fridays at 10, Sherry shows the winning photo of the week. Sherry's weather shots, only on KHNL News 8 at 10.
There's Royal Gill and also Romaka. David Romaka sitting on the bench, number 47 there. Gill is 29 of 46 in passing for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Brennan is 38 of 53, 515 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
And New Mexico State going onside right here. Why not? See, this I agree with. Go down swinging, you know? You win a few, lose a few, but go down giving it your best shot.
Oh, 7:42 on the clock. There's a lot of football to be played.
Connor Foley with the short kickoff, rolls it. It goes into the air and goes out of bounds. And Hawaii will have it. Excellent field position inside New Mexico State territory.
And because nobody touched it, there's a flag because the ball went out of bounds.
So Tyler Gronke's going to come into the game right here. Colt Brennan, no chance to get that 8th touchdown pass, 7th touchdown pass.
He has 7 now.
No chance to get that 8th because Tyler Gronke gets in there.
So Gronke comes in. He is 20 for 38, 210 yards, and 1 touchdown in passing. Gronke can also run. Mario Cox also in the backfield with him, number 47. Until recently, Cox was number 20. So they changed his number. Didn't tell anybody until right before the game. Ball is thrown to the side, and that ball was intended for Washington. Michael Washington, who has just come into the game. Washington with 13 catches, 86 yards, and no touchdowns. That pass ruled incomplete. 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line, and still 7 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in this game. So Tyler Gronke.
Some good playing time right here for Tyler Gronke. Started the season splitting time with Colt Brennan, but as Brennan has grown into this offense, he's taken over as the primary starter. Some good PT right here for Gronke.
Ball is given around the corner and carrying the ball to the 45-yard line. I mean, he took on everybody. And that was Cox. Mario Cox, 5'11", 231-pound freshman from Oakland, California. Went to McClymonds High School in Oakland. McClymonds. Veda Pinson went there.
Yeah, and Hawaii was hoping to be able to use him earlier in the season, but he had to sit out the whole fall camp and the first 2 weeks because the NCAA hadn't cleared his transcripts. He told me that he switched high schools between his junior and senior year, and so the transcripts got confused and the NCAA got confused, so he had to sit out.
Dylan Linkner also has come in as a wide receiver for Hawaii. Gronke throws, and that is complete to Patrick Olcholvi. And Olcholvi, who's been on, I guess he's been on the sidelines for a long time, and much has been expected of him. 5'8" sophomore from Islip, New York, finally gets a reception and moves the ball to the 32-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. So Hawaii, with all the reserves in there, all of those players who show up for practice every day and maybe get, a few reps, but that's it. They are in the game now with Hawaii leading 49-28. First down from the 32-yard line of New Mexico State. Tyler Gronke running, fakes the pitch, gets inside the 30 to the 28, and the clock will tick.
Some good playing time for all of these guys in here. These, as you said, these are the guys that work just as hard as the starters in practice. They're getting in there and seeing some playing time, and you never know when these guys are going to have to step up, step in, and make some plays. So some good experience for the Hawaii second unit.
Linkner is to the far side, and Washington is wide to the left. Tyler Gronke from the shotgun with time, now throws. That is almost picked off, almost intercepted. Coming across with it is number 36, Alex Bernard. So Bernard has really patrolled that secondary well.
Well, that second string offensive line of Hawaii giving Gronke a good time to throw. He throws it a little behind the receiver, which allows the defender to make a play, and it almost come away with the pick.
Third down now for Hawaii. The ball at the 27-yard line of New Mexico State. Triple wide receiver to the left. Gronke in for Brennan. Gronke keeps the ball, sneaking around the far side, gets the first down. Brandon McKinney finally trailed him and ankle tackled him. And that's another first down for Hawaii. Hawaii with 33 first downs in the game now.
He said he was sneaking through on the right side. That's exactly what he did. He kind of slithered right through between defenders, kept moving forward at an angle, and got the job done. Tyler Gronke, he loves that sort of draw play to the side right there.
You see Colt Brennan, 38 of 53, 515 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. An interception by Bernard early in this game. Gronke waiting. And that's a very quick pattern and incomplete, intended for Michael Washington.
You talked earlier, Russell, about how valuable these reps are for the second string offense of Hawaii. For Tyler Gronke, it's even more valuable because at the beginning of the season, he was in a battle for the starting spot. When he lost the battle and Colt Brennan became the starter, in practice, in everything that offense does, all the coaches are focused on teaching Colt Brennan, and Gronke and the other quarterbacks are kind of on the side because Colt Brennan is the focus. So these reps right here, like you said, are super valuable.
Gronke waiting for the snap. He keeps, dances, puts his head down, and gets inside the 20. Very short gain. That'll bring up third down. 5 minutes and 33 seconds left. So Hawaii just wants to get it over with. This has been really a get fat experience. Well, you look at the statistics tonight. Colt Brennan is, I mean, he played out of his mind tonight as far as yardage and touchdowns were concerned. He is not only going to lead the Western Athletic Conference, and he already did in many categories and was second in others. He is going to challenge for the lead as far as the nation is concerned. 5 minutes left to play in the game. 49-28 Hawaii. Gronke throws. That is complete to Aaron Bain. Just into the game. Ball comes out. And falling on it is Matt Greibel. And we'll see what the call is. It is going to go to New Mexico State. Hawaii turns it over as that ball is coughed up by Bain.
Well, tough break for the Hawaii reserves. They were out there moving the football.
And Gronke gets the ball, makes a quick throw to the flat. Aaron Bain gets the ball, gets hit right away, trying to make the extra yards. Doesn't hang on to the football. And Okovi there, you see there, trying to make a play, getting the ball. But number 2 ahead of him, the safety.
Bernard was able to slap it away from him. And it will be first down and 10 for New Mexico State. They have the ball at their own 13-yard line. Royal Gill. They have passed for over 800 yards combined, both quarterbacks. They throw, and that is complete to Allen. Allen is able to get out to the 20-yard line. Jamarian Moreland there to make the stop for Hawaii. Next week, Hawaii will be in San Jose, California. We'll have that game for you. They'll be up against the Spartans and Dick Tomey, something that I think Dick Tomey has been waiting for a long time. After all, he's the winningest coach for the University of Hawaii and the University of Arizona. In his first year at San Jose State, another throw that is complete to Dubois, and Dubois out to the 27-yard line. That's a first down. That's the 30th first down for the Aggies. So on 2 successive weeks, Hawaii plays teams that are in the first year of new coaches. Hal Mumme tonight with New Mexico State, and then next week Dick Tomey with San Jose State.
Adam Leonard in the ball game at middle linebacker. That's June Jones, one of the players that he's very high on.
Crossing pattern to Dubois, incomplete.
And John Fonodi, there's another one.
You talked about
A.J. Harris, I should say.
We talked about how valuable the reps are for the second team offense. On defense, because this is such a complicated defense and the blitz package is so overwhelming. Get these guys, these second stringers on the field, and the run blitzes. Even though you're up 21 points, run the blitzes so that you can watch them on film and make corrections and become a better team.
Gill throws over the middle, and that is incomplete. Not able to bring the ball down as Tamarian Moreland celebrates. Was Derek Dubois. And the ball remains at the 28-yard line. Fourth down. They've been successful 2 out of 3 times in fake punts as New Mexico State, and they're not going to fool around. They're not going into a punt formation. Remaining in the game is Royal Gill. They're just going to gamble on fourth down. Why not? They trail 49-28. Gill in trouble. Still in trouble. Now throws. Hit as he throws. It is intercepted. Intercepted by Moreland. Or let's see. And they say no, he was out of bounds. I thought he had it.
Well, it's better that he might have.
Well, that's right. It was fourth. Yeah, it was fourth down. They're going to turn it over.
Well, the marker says third down.
Oh, they must have changed it. Because the marker said fourth down. All of a sudden, they changed it back to third down. Now it's fourth down.
And Royal Gill, I think Royal Gill, he's out on the field face down right at that spot. And I think that is him. He's out there about the 11-yard line, and
that
he does not look good.
That was an interception by Moreland, so fourth down, third down really didn't matter what the crew did as far as the down box was concerned. Hawaii will have the ball concerned now for Royal Gill. .338 left to play in the game. Hawaii leading by a score of 49-28. The last play, the play before we left you, the boxman had the wrong down on there, but then he changed it, which became moot when Moreland intercepted the pass. So Hawaii has it at the 46-yard line of New Mexico State, and Gronke continues at quarterback. Running play. Carrying the ball is Mario Cox. Cox still on his feet and finally gets drilled from behind.
Mario Cox, the on the previous series, showing he can do it with some power. He came out and laid the hat on some people there on the near sideline. This time he's doing it with balance, quick feet, some quickness right here. Look at him.
Yeah, he's got some speed. He runs a 4.5 40, and in high school he had 8.5 sacks as a linebacker. So he's a tough, rugged guy, just a player. Hawaii getting him out on the field is a good thing.
First down for Hawaii. Ball at the 33 with 3:12 left to play in the game. Gronke in motion is Bain. Ball again is given to Cox, looking for a running room. This time he doesn't find any. May have gained a couple of yards. That'll bring up second down and 8. And the clock ticking away. 2:51. Hawaii now on the season will be 2-4. And they will have their second victory in the Western Athletic Conference as they have defeated Idaho and now New Mexico State. But Idaho and New Mexico State, two newcomers to the Western Athletic Conference, and Hawaii has to do better than that. They've got to start chucking up wins against contenders. Again, it's Mario Cox.
Doug, when you're in the huddle in a game like this, you know the offense is rolling. You get in the huddle, you know you guys are going to be able to move the ball. It's going to be a great feeling for this team to have something like that.
Yeah, and you got running backs in the game. When you're really rolling like that, you know, when I played, it was a predominantly running offense. But you got running backs. Everybody wants the ball because everybody's making yards. I'm sure the receivers in this game are the same way. Throw it to me, I'm open, because they're all open.
Do the front five feel like they're part of it?
No, absolutely.
There you go.
Linkner is flanked to the far side. Double wide receiver to the near side. Gronke, the throw. Throw sideline pattern intended for Linkner. On that ball thrown wide. That stops the clock with 1 minute and 38 seconds left. Hawaii against San Jose State next week. That'll be from San Jose, California. Then Hawaii comes home. Big test. Fresno State comes to town.
That'll be in the heat of the afternoon, a 1 o'clock kickoff.
Gee, it must be the Engulf and Conquer network again, huh?
Should be a hot day.
The ball is kept by Cox. Hit. And down he goes. Cox very strong. You can see when they hit him, he still rolls. And it doesn't give them a big shot. No, that Fresno State game is going to be on ABC.
So I'll be sitting in the stands because I'm going to come. Because I get free tickets.
You do? How come you get free tickets?
Because I'm working with you.
I'll be in the shade. I'll be in the shade in the blue section.
.128 left. And now New Mexico State with it. And throw it over the middle. That is complete to Cleaver. He has a touchdown. So Hawaii giving the ball over on downs, and now New Mexico State last gasp.
Now
they've been on life support for a while here.
You might ask why they have their first string in there. Why not bring their second stringers in there? But it's because they're losing, and the first string hasn't done a good job. So get them as many reps as possible so they can correct them on film on Monday.
Exactly.
First down from the 47. Gill to throw yet another time. Crossing pattern. Gill almost gun shy now because the black shirts are showing up in a hurry. And he tried to get it to A.J. Harris, couldn't do it.
It is late in the ball game, but it's nice to see Ikaika Kernan in the ball game, number 51. He's been having just all kinds of injury problems, and with his leg, with his shoulder, is injured last year, injured this year, and it's nice to see Ikaika Kernan get some playing time. It's not the kind of playing time that he would have liked, but at least he's getting it out there, getting to get some reps in.
Kernan, an outstanding linebacker until he incurred injuries. I mean, outstanding. Brennan Biamonte into the game for the first time. Colt Brennan has come all that way across the Pacific from the Southwest, New Mexico, Gila Monsters. And he has waited on the sideline this whole game until 45 seconds are left to get in. There you see him right there. Brennan Biamonte. Gill looking in his direction, now checks off, throws over the middle, and then throws it behind the intended receiver.
Well, he almost popped.
The intended receiver was Cleaver.
He almost popped the umpire in the head with that pass. The umpire had to duck and get out of the way on that one.
Now, official timeout has been called. Now they say no catch. That was an, I believe it was an incomplete pass. I'm getting gesticulations from 50 different people.
Please reset the clock to 30 seconds. 30 seconds, please.
And they're going to move it back because of the incomplete pass. This game cannot end cleanly. It has to end in triplicate.
We're coming up on 4 hours in this contest, but that's what's going to happen when you have two teams that like to air it out.
You got a timeout?
And timeout is called by New Mexico State with 24 seconds left.
Well, you know what, how Mummy called timeout. Remember that game again where they played against Cal on national TV? He called 3 timeouts in a row right before the half because Cal had their kicker out on the field trying to kick a field goal. 3 timeouts in a row, and Cal's kicker missed. And Hal Mummy looked like he just won the Super Bowl.
Who won that game?
Cal.
Yeah, there you go. That's bad.
Tonight's
karma.
most valuable player, sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, are Justin Burries from New Mexico State and Colt Brennan from the University of Hawaii. Most valuable players, sponsored again by Bank of Hawaii. We congratulate both of them. Colt Brennan, 515 yards and 7 touchdowns. And Burries, 99 yards. He was 1 yard short of his 4th 100-yard game.
Hawaii's defense got to feel good. There are a lot of things they're going to feel bad about in this game, but they got to feel good that they kept Burries under 100 yards because he's a pretty good running back.
It is 4th down for New Mexico State with 30. Now they put it back to 30 seconds remaining to be played in the game. Gill throws. That is complete to Biamonte. And Biamonte has saved himself for this particular situation. And he has the ball inside the 40-yard line to the 38. And now there's 24 seconds left and the clock is stopped. So Hawaii will be 2-4 on the year. And they will be 2-2 in the Western Athletic Conference. Gill pump faking. Now throws long. It is batted down. Double coverage. Through into double coverage. Ball was intended over there. Kirk Alexander was on defense. A.J. Harris, the intended receiver. 13 seconds left to play in the game.
Kirk Alexander wears number 14, and I just can't believe that anybody from the University of Hawaii has that number. Especially this year after Timmy Chang, all-time passing leader. You'd think they'd rest the number at least. You don't have to retire it, but at least rest it.
Rest it. They just changed it right away. Here's Gill. And Gill gets drilled as he gets to about the 35-yard line. 4 seconds left. Are they going to call another timeout? And they do. Ikaika Kernan doing what Ikaika Kernan has done for a long time. And Gill getting up. I mean, you have to give
he's
Royal
staggered.
Gill. I mean, you're going to have to give him some kind of award because he's been out there doggedly throwing the ball. Gill has passed for 356 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he staggers off the field, literally staggers off the field after being mashed on that last play. 4 seconds left. One more play in the game. Into the game comes Joey Vincent.
And Ikaika Kernan, has spent the beginning of this season on the bench because of injuries, being able to unleash. I mean, he came up, bent knees, bent hips, and just laid into Gill.
Got rid of some frustrations right there. But give Gill credit. He came off the field. Boy, he staggered. He would look like a boxer that took a shot to the chops. He staggered before they were able to hold him up and bring him off the field.
But something has to be said for his stick-to-itiveness, his stubbornness, just hanging in there, his elan. Vincent on the last play of the game, throwing for the end zone, and it is batted down. And that is it. Perry batted the ball down for Hawaii. George Perry, 5'11" junior, and so Coming across will be June Jones. Let's go back to the beginning of this game tour. A.J. Martinez has the Heineken Red Star moment. Heineken, it's all about the beer. And Martinez comes up the field. And all of a sudden, it really opens up for him. And he's across midfield and deep into New Mexico State territory. And that was the start of an offensive onslaught on the part of both teams. I mean, you look at Colt Brennan, 515 yards and 7 touchdown passes. Bryce Mullen, 137 yards and 4 touchdown receptions. Just part of the offense that really put up the numbers tonight. Next Saturday, the Warriors will pack their bags to make a WAC conference fall in San Jose, California, as they take on the Spartans of San Jose State. To watch that game live starting at 3 in the afternoon, make sure to order it on Oceanic Digital pay-per-view. Hawaii Warrior Football has been a sports presentation of K5, the home team. For Doug Violetti and Russell Yamanoha and our entire crew, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a long game. Hawaii winning 49-28.
How you doing, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the June Jones Show. Many coaches and players refer to it as a get-fat night, one of those weeks in the schedule where a blowout victory is not only anticipated, but necessary. And Hawaii sure did get fat last night behind a performance that could be described as a Colt classic. Quarterback Colt Brennan threw 7 touchdowns in a 49-28 rollover win against New Mexico State. Here's a look at what's on tap tonight, brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. A look back at the air show put on at Aloha Stadium last night. JJ, of course, in the house to talk about the much-needed victory, as well as take a look ahead to next week's meeting with San Jose State and former UH coach Dick Tomey. Plus, we'll shine the Warrior spotlight on assistant coach Jeff Reinbold, who proves there's often more to a person than meets the eye. But first, off the top, John Veneri recaps a Warrior W over the Aggies.
The gaudy numbers tell the story. Hawaii had 5 different receivers catch at least 5 passes. 4 of them got into the end zone. 3 of them went over 100 yards. On homecoming, in front of a crowd of just under 25,000, UH, as expected, took out some of its recent frustration on New Mexico State, almost entirely through the air.
We knew we were playing, a team that was obviously struggling, and we wanted to take advantage of that and do what a good football team does.
No, it's tough to play Hawaii. We learned a lot. We're a really young team. We travel about 2/3 of our team are freshmen or sophomores, and so hopefully we'll be better the next time we come over here.
The Warriors went to town offensively, not attempting a design running play until the 4th quarter. That wasn't a problem for Colt Brennan, who completed 38 of 53 passes for 515 yards and 7 touchdowns, all career highs. And he got an early vote of confidence from his coach.
When I came off after the first touchdown, he looked at me and said, "It's going to be a big day for you." And he looked me right in the eye, and I knew exactly what he was talking about because everything we had seen on film, it was going to remain the same.
And the wealth was shared. Devon Best, 7 catches, 128 yards and a touchdown. Chad Mock, 10 catches, 147 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Grice Mullen, 9 catches, 137 yards and 4 touchdowns.
When the receivers play like that, when we do that, when we don't just catch the ball, but when we catch the ball and run after the catch and make plays and just try our best to get in the end zone, you know, stuff come out good, and that's a perfect example of what happened in this game.
The camaraderie with those guys is getting a lot better, where they're working for each other, and it's not just about me trying to get open, it's about me trying to pull the safety down so my friend gets, you know, open behind him.
We play Hawaii ball, and good things happen. Today was a perfect day.
Warriors defense showed signs of vulnerability in the first half as the Aggies more or less kept pace with Hawaii through the first couple of quarters, trailing 35-21 at intermission. But UH buckled it down in the second half, allowing only a late fourth period TD to New Mexico State.
We move the ball pretty well, but they present you a lot of problems, and obviously they played well enough to, you know, win the game, and Coach Glenn did a good job. He kept us out of the end zone enough times for them to win.
Most importantly, Warriors got their second win of the season and now sit at 2-4, 2-2 in the WAC.
It's huge because we came off a horrible loss against La Tech, and then we just needed something to boost us up to get ready for this road trip we're going on.
That road trip is at San Jose State next Saturday.
All right, thanks a lot, Johnny. Here with the coach, June Jones, and a lot of action on the field last night. But what we wanted to get into briefly before we talk about the game, some of the scary action going up on in the coach's booth upstairs. Vance Singletary reportedly collapsing last night during the game, had to be rushed to the hospital. What happened and how's he doing?
Well, I think he's doing okay. I went up to see him last night about 1 a.m. and you know, they'd done all kind of tests and it seemed like everything was normal. They thought maybe it was more of a he had an anxiety deal prior to this, I think, of heights and that kind of thing, and he just collapsed. And so, you know, you're always a little bit scared no matter what they tell you. The deal is when that happens, so hopefully he'll be okay and out today.
Interesting. It was actually probably the first game that he's gone up to the booth to coach from. I think Cal Lee was up there as well, and normally those guys on the sideline. Any reason for that?
Yeah, we didn't see some things at the Louisiana Tech game, so we needed to view and be able to see better some things that Jerry needed information on, and so that's why they went up.
All right, well, getting to the game now, a lot of action, as we said, on the field. A lot of disappointment in the recent weeks with a near upset victory over Boise State, losing considerably on the road to Louisiana Tech. With all of that, how much did you need to get just a win?
Well, I think and every year, you know, you have to be able to bounce back from those type of games like we had against Louisiana Tech and Boise State. You know, I really feel the kids were coming along, even though we had a little setback against Tech. But I tell you, the freshman receivers are really growing up fast because they're playing so much, and we think they got 3.5 more years, and Colt has 2.5 more years. He did some things in the game even better than what I thought had happened at the time. He really, I think, grew up in this game quite a bit. And I kind of knew it was going to be about this time of year into the middle of the season before he started to really get comfortable in what we're doing, and it showed up.
Now, you were saying last week that one of the keys for this game was to establish yourself offensively through big plays. And you were saying now's the time when we really should start making some big plays and put up gaudy numbers offensively. And you got some of that last night against New Mexico State. It looked like you were attempting to go a little more vertically with Colt Brennan in the play call.
I was actually, because I felt Colt had starting to have a good handle. I kind of was being real guided in play calling the first 4 or 5 weeks because I knew that he didn't know exactly what he was looking at, and so I just called the things that I knew he felt comfortable with, and I really kind of felt in the middle of the week that he was starting to get a feel for what we were doing, and some of the plays that go more down the field, and he handled it very well. And like I said, even when I looked at the film this morning, he did some things that I didn't think he did at the game, and which was very encouraging to me. And I just know it's going to be an all fun to watch from here on.
7 touchdowns, 1 short of the single-game record set by Nick Rolovich, who's on the sideline with your team these days. Colt joked in one of the newspapers saying, "Yeah, you know, I was egging Coach Jones on to let me in and at least tie the record." Is that true?
No, he didn't say anything, but I heard them afterwards. They told me what was going on. But you know, I think Colt understands that his time will come, and that game Rolo had at BYU, I still think about it. It was an unbelievable day, and I think Colt will always remember this one too.
That was, of course, back in 2001 against BYU. Colt Brennan's numbers, 38 of 53. That seems to be one of the aspects of his offensive game that stands out. The rate of completions. I mean, the percentage on the season right now, 68%. Is that a little bit, it seems that it's a little bit of a step up from what Timmy Chang was able to do, at least completion percentage-wise, throughout some of the early goings of his career.
Well, I'll say this. Colt is just off the tape that we watched in junior college when I watched him physically play. I thought he was as accurate a passer on those tapes, and I knew that once he got going on what we were doing, that he was going to have these kind of numbers because he's going to complete a lot of balls. In fact, in the first half last night, he was 24 out of 31, and you go look at his 7 incompletions, and it was abnormal that he did not throw the ball accurately on those seven throws. He would have been 31 of 31, and there were some big plays in there that he was upset about that he missed. And I think that, again, just doing it over and over and over, he's going to continue to complete the ball probably at 70% of his passes. And if he can do that, you know, obviously we're going to be moving the football.
Now, truth be told, New Mexico State still a winless team this year. That was their 7th loss, no wins. How accurate of a reading can you get on your team going up against a squad that can be referred to as, quote, a lesser opponent? I mean, what do you take away from really seeing about your team?
Well, you know, the bottom line is we play them that same game at New Mexico State, they might beat us. You know, I mean, that's how close everything is. And people really don't understand that. And, you know, they played Cal and they played Colorado. They had an unbelievable tough schedule. They played Louisiana Tech better than we did. So you say that they're 0-6 and 0-7, but guess what? They could easily be a lot better than that, and they will win some games, as you saw them get better in this game offensively. And when you know, Hal gets those guys that he needs for that offense, I mean, that's going to be a scary thing to play every year.
Saw some new faces establishing themselves. Chad Mock really had a big game at that receiver position, kind of covering for where Ian Sample was before he got hurt. Yeah,
you know, Chad Mock, I really felt last year, and I can remember telling him sometime in the middle of training camp last year or middle of the season that he needed to do some specific things, that physically when I watched him, I thought he was one of our best players. And so I was kind of disappointed when he came in to camp this year, and he didn't know his assignments quite like he should have. He didn't, you know, he didn't play with the energy that he needed to play with. But I've seen it since he got on the field in a game. He is what I thought he was going to be. And sometimes, like even A.J. Martinez got in the game. You can tell they're gamers. I mean, he turned it up, and he did what he was supposed to do. Chad has done what he's supposed to do in the game, and that's where you need to do it. And I would say he's going to be tough to beat out from here on.
Well, it looked like your plan was to pass the ball, pass the ball early, pass the ball plenty, because you didn't even attempt a design running play until the 4th quarter.
No, you know, I told during the week, I knew that for us to get to where we need to be late in the season to have a run for a bowl game, if we're going to have that possibility, I needed to get Colt game experience and throws. And I called things that I hadn't called in first games very much because I knew that he didn't really feel comfortable with them. And I didn't know where the ball was going to go when I called him. And so I knew that I said, this is it. This game, I got to throw the ball. And I told Mouse Wednesday or Thursday, I said, you know what, this may be it. I said, I may call pass every play, and we live with whatever happens with the outcome. And fortunately, he hit a lot of them. And Ryan and Devon and Chad and Ross probably played overall about as well as any 4 receivers that played in a game, and assignments and hustle and blocking and everything. I mean, they did a really, really nice job.
All right, how would you rate the defensive performance last night? The running back for New Mexico State, Justin Berries, had 104 yards rushing, 2 TDs, tightened up with what Coach Mummy was referring to as an injury at halftime, so he didn't get as many reps in the second half. Talk about the defensive performance.
Well, you know, I think that's a very hard team to defend, and Jerry made some really good adjustments at halftime. I thought that really made the difference in the game. And it's frustrating to play a team like that sometimes because it kind of takes you out of your personality, who you are. And we got some things addressed. Like I said, at halftime, we came back, played with a different tenacity, and we told the team that they're going to make some plays, and we have to knock the ball out. We got to get takeaways. We got to get turnovers because they don't want to play a physical game. And I thought we had some unreal hits in the game. Lono had some whacks. We had Tamarian had some licks. TJ had a couple licks. I mean, and looking at all their tapes, nobody really did that to him. And we knocked the ball out. Defensive line, Keeler got the ball out once I think it was. And you know that's the difference in the game when you play a team that's finesse. It's the same thing that happens to us. When somebody plays that way with us, like you go play an SC, you go play Michigan State, and they get real physical with the receivers and everything, and they get some turnovers and stuff, that kind of takes you out of your game, and that's what we needed to do with them.
All right, and it looked like, speaking of Hal Mummy, you ran into a coach on the other sideline that actually might like to fake punt more than you.
Well, actually, you know, it's kind of funny. Hal stole so many things from Mouse on offense, and then that punt set is what Mouse used to use at Portland State. And Mouse faked it 29 times, I think, one season, and completed 27. Actually faked it off his own 1-yard line coming out of his end zone and converted the first down. So I knew it was coming, but it's still, you know, it's hard to fathom that they do it anywhere. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty effective.
Watch out now.
Still to come, it'll be a familiar face on the opposite sideline this week for the Warriors. After the break, JJ talks about going head-to-head with former Hawaii coach Dick Tomey and San Jose State. Plus, why Jeff Reinbold left professional football to become a grad assistant on the Warriors coaching staff. Welcome back to the show. With that win over New Mexico State last night, Coach Jones tying Bob Wagner for the fastest to 50 wins as a University of Hawaii head coach, 84 games. And then you look at the list of the winningest coaches in University of Hawaii history. Dick Tomey is #1 with 63 total. Wags there at 58. And Coach Jones, you're there at 50. So you're gaining on these guys and gaining on them very fast. Just so happens you're going up against UH's winningest coach all time this week, now coaching for San Jose State, Dick Tomey.
Yeah, and Dick will have his team ready to play. I think of all the games that he's been looking forward to is playing this one. He has obviously his own reasons to be motivated to play really hard this week, and our kids don't really, I don't think, recall what Dick is like as a coach, and their teams play with a lot of energy. They hit, they hustle, you know that. They're going to do all kinds of things. We may get muddle huddle. We might get all different kinds of plays as I know. And, you know, one other thing that's kind of unreal, Dick knows us probably better. You know, he stood at practice. He came to practice every day for 2.5, 3 years when he was doing the color with your father there.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember that combination.
And so, you know, he knows everything, knows our counts, knows our calls, knows what we read. He knows everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what defensive game plan he comes up with.
What's your relationship with Coach Tomey?
Coach Tomey and I, actually, Dick gave me my first job, you know, here. In fact, Jerry Glanville called Dick, and I remember asked Jerry to call him. He said, I don't even know the guy. He probably doesn't know who I am. And I had come out here in the summers when I was playing for the Falcons and met Dick, and then Dick gave me a job, my first job, and I was young and didn't know a whole lot, and really appreciate him as a professional now more than ever before. When I look back at what he believed in and how he did things and how he treated people, and you know that had a big influence on me. But he's a great guy, and we're good friends.
Well, his Spartans this year, 1-5, 0-3 in the WAC. We always like to go through your keys to the game, and you say this week, #1 going up against San Jose State. Play at a high emotional level.
Yeah, we got to play at a high emotional level, but we still can't. We still got to play within ourselves. Dick's going to have his team very, very keyed up for this game. I'm hoping we have more Hawaii fans in that crowd, and it becomes a home game for us in there to make us feel comfortable and get going and really make it become like a home game. So I'm anxious to see that when it happens. We went up there 3 years ago, and we did have more fans than they had in the stands, and I'm anticipating that'll happen again.
Yeah, it just so happens that's your second key, and obviously would make a big difference if you can bring some of those Hawaii fans on a road game out to the stadium.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them already have their tickets, and the thing that kind of amazes me, everywhere we go now, how many people come from wherever we are. They come and drive to the game if they're living their transplants on the mainland, but they have Hawaii background, and it's amazing everywhere we go how many people come. And in San Jose, there's more people. In Vegas, there's more people than any two places. So this will be a big crowd.
And number 3 key. This is a Tomey-esque sort of part of what San Jose State does. Be ready for the big play, and it also can be hidden in terms of special teams gimmicks, which we saw a few last night from Hal Munger.
No question, and I think that will encourage him to do more when he looks at that tape. But one thing that kind of I noticed different, the personality of his football team, when just looking at him on tape so far, he's kind of, I think, stepped away from the offense, and they're playing the game pretty wide open like we do. They weren't on a West Coast offense. Kenny Marjoram, I think, who was here with Fred Von Oppen, is coaching the offense. And I can tell that it's not Dick calling those plays, because sometimes it's 4th and 1 and they're throwing bombs, and they've hit them. And so I think he is a heck of a football coach, and he's going to do everything he can do in this game to beat us, and we'll see it all.
When you see those lists in the newspapers, and we mentioned winningest coaches in UH history, do you care about that at all?
Until you mentioned it, I didn't even know that this was. I play every game. I'm here because I love these kids and I love Hawaii. And if you just do your job and do it as hard as you can, and you put the other guy first, those things take care of themselves, and I think that's why I got 50 right now, is because I've had the ability to be that way.
Your team now even in the WAC, looking to get above 500 this week against the Spartans. We'll talk to you after that game. Thanks a lot, Coach. Coming up, from pro football to a grad assistant position with the Warrior football coaching staff. Why Jeff Reinbold says he's being true to himself, the Polynesian on the inside. Welcome back to the June Jones Show. 2005 marked an offseason of major turnover for the Warriors, with so many departing seniors from a year ago. But the personnel changes didn't only pertain to the players. The new season also brought in some new faces on the coaching staff. Of course, you already know about defensive coordinator Jerry Glanville, but you may not be so familiar with graduate assistant Jeff Reinbold. So to make you more familiar, we bring in John Veneri once again. John, Coach Reinbold, who works primarily with the defensive linemen, is not your ordinary grad assistant, is he?
Not ordinary by any means of the word. Jeff Reinbold hails from South Bend, Indiana, the home of Notre Dame, and he worked himself up through the coaching ranks all the way to the Canadian Football League and NFL Europe, where he coached a number of Polynesian players. And as you'll see in this edition of the Warrior Spotlight, those relationships and a phone conversation with June Jones led the 47-year-old to turn away from pro football and head back to school here in the islands.
I say, hey man, if you're ever looking for a GA, give me a call. And it's kind of like in a joking way. And then, then I thought about it. I said, you know what, why not?
That's it, that's it, that's it. Intense is probably one of the best ways to describe Jeff Reinbold. Who is he, you ask? The 47-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, is a graduate assistant, unpaid and here for the love of football, Hawaii, and the athletes the state produces. Coach Jeff, as his players refer to him, has a resume that would put to shame many college head coaches. Beginning his career in 1981, since he has coached at a number of different colleges, but most notable was his stint as a Canadian League head coach, and most recently in the NFL Europe as the skipper of the Rhine Fire and Amsterdam Admirals. But he gave it all up, a well above average paying job and the status of pro football.
This has been a destiny that I've felt I was going to fulfill for a long time. I'm 47 years old, and this is where I wanted to be. There were a lot of eyebrows raised when I came back here. It's like, what are you doing that for? Why are you turning down the job you got to go back and, work for nothing?
Part of the reason dates back to his time in Canadian League, where he connected with a linebacker out of Hawaii. Former Rainbow Warrior star David Maeva played under Reinbold, and the two became friends.
David is Kalike, I think of as a brother. I don't think of him as an ex-player. I feel like he's a part of my ohana. He's the toughest football player, pound for pound, I've ever seen.
He gave a lot of guys like myself, Joe Silmalo, Tupualualu, a lot of guys from the islands opportunities where we went up to Vancouver, Winnipeg, Vegas, and we tried out for his teams. And he just loves the Polynesian style of living, you know. Yeah, man, white on the outside, brown on the inside.
I've been blessed to have had the opportunity to have my Polynesian brothers with me everywhere I've gone. And I've gone out of the way to give them opportunities because there's something different about these kids. There really is. There's something different. They play the game a different way. It's part of your heritage here. And I think that no matter where I am, I'll always look at Hawaii as a resource in terms of football players because I think they're the best football players in the world.
And therein lies the essence of Jeff Reinbold, a self-described Haole boy who through a powerful spirituality found a connection to and maybe even a belonging within the Polynesian culture.
I can't tell you why it is, but you know, brother used to describe Mike Muldoon as, you know, a Hawaiian man trapped in a Haole man's body, and I really believe that's the way it is with me. You know, you say I'm not from here, but then you're saying, well, in this incarnation, I'm not from here. I really truly believe in my heart, as they say, the cocoa that beats in my body is Polynesian. I really believe that, and that sounds crazy, and people are going to shake their head and go, man, that guy's whacked. But you know, that's the way it is. That's what I truly believe.
The saying, you can never judge a book by its cover, works perfectly here. Off the field, soft-spoken, peaceful, worldly. On the field, impassioned, fierce, all right, kind of nuts.
It's funny because I think my personality is probably a little different off the field than it is on the field, but I love the game.
But after all the drills, whistles, and hard hits, Reinbold once again seeks focus in his own unique